What up, what up, what up, what up, squad? Hope you guys are having a great day today. Welcome to the 5th episode of the Glitched Out podcast, Blacked Out Closet. I was a good of Oni's podcast, but welcome to the 5th episode of the one and only Glitched Out podcast. We got the homies on. All right, let me meet them. We got the homies on today. We have the one and only BlackOni. He's a great variety caster. We got BeardedNoob and the one and only ConfusedDevil, which is another fellow role player. Really, really, really cool guys. These are all amazing broadcasters, variety streamers that I would recommend you watch, you learn from. They're amazing, amazing broadcasters, content creators, and humans, guys. We got a plethora of Utopia of stuff to talk about today. We got Mountain Blade, Cuphead, Welcome to Hanswell, and the rolling only Horizon Zero Dawn to talk about, boys and girls. So just a quick synopsis, guys. This is a podcast. I will do my best to reply back to you guys in chat, but this is all about them. The focus is on them, and that's what it's about today. So everybody introduce himself one by one. BlackOni, go for it.
Yeah. I'm Will BlackOni Wiggins. You can just call me BlackOni or just Oni for short. I do a number of different types of experiences on my streams. I do creative streams. I'll be creating logos or working on illustrations, working on a comic book. Sometimes I will be doing fantasy-based games, so action RPGs, The Witcher, Final Fantasy, stuff like that. And other days I'll just be playing like first-person shooters like Overwatch or horror games like Prey. And that game is terrifying.
All right, Confused. Go for it, man. And podcast. And he does have a podcast. What's it called again?
There's the BlackOni podcast and the Chocolate Thunder.
Chocolate Thunder. And how often do you have this podcast, and what platforms are they on?
So the Chocolate Thunder podcast is specifically on Twitch. It is uploaded on YouTube as well. The BlackOni podcast it's streamed on Twitch, and then it's on YouTube and iTunes and whatever other podcasting services people listen to. And yeah.
Awesome. All right, Confused Devil, you're up.
Oni took my name of Chocolate Thunder. I was going to use that, but
you know,
that's your nickname, your stripper nickname. All right, man.
When I worked at Twerk. So I do RP like it's a full-time job every day. I've been doing that for the past 5 months. So I met G. And I mean, basically, that's all I do right now. Love RP. I'm probably going to stick with that for now.
Awesome.
No podcast, nothing fancy. That's it.
But he's here today, and check him out. All right, BeardedNoob.
Oh, what? Is it me?
Yeah, you're up, man.
2 weeks in a row, BeardedNoob. I'm a Twitch streamer. I met G on RP first as a crazy blonde-headed chick that G Wilson did not like, and she did not like him. I'm all about the role play. I love podcasts, tabletop. I love PvP, but I suck at it. So, yeah.
Nah. All right. So we're gonna try to learn a little more about you guys. We're gonna turn down the lights and get to know every single one of you guys. So I'm gonna ask you guys some questions. You guys feel free to answer. You know, there's no specific order. But so how did you get your name? Anybody answer? Go for it.
Mine's pretty easy. I'm bearded, and I'm a noob.
All right.
Yeah, that's pretty simple. Yeah.
All right, BlackOni.
Mine's a little complicated, I guess. So originally I went by JBlaze06. I didn't want people to get this like wrong idea about like who I am just in general. Like, oh yeah, 420 toke it up. Like, you know, that's not why that was made. That was specifically made for a comic book character that I created a while ago. Who, you know, some of you guys, if you do know me at all, you'll know that I am working on a comic. And the main character's name is Jay. And so I went with BlackOni because Oni means two different things in different languages. In Japanese, it's like a demon or ogre, but it's one who protects the sacred land. So they're kind of the good guys of the demon realm, right? And Oni in African Yoruba means born of sacred land. So I kind of treat my passions as like the sacred land, the passions for creating and passions for like sharing my own love for gaming as like that temple.
There you go. Keep the temple safe. Protect your castle.
That's right.
Nice. All right, Confused Devil. This is gonna be a good one. How'd you go about getting your name?
Well, let me start it off by saying that it came off of my Xbox name. All right, it used to be Satan's Bellboy. But there were
Satan's Bell.
too many jokes about carrying sex around. So I played. I played Destiny, and I wanted to sound badass, so my name was Cosmic Devil, right?
Mm-hmm.
I came over to Twitch. Cosmic Devil was taken by some little kid, and so I talked to my buddy. I'm like, dude, what describes my play style? He goes, I don't know. You're always confused about what you need to do and stuff like that. And I was like, perfect, man. Confused Devil. That's it. That's it. That's my superhero backstory.
All right. Awesome.
What about you, Glitch? I want to hear from you.
Me?
Yeah, man.
Oh man, this
Yeah,
is
Glitch has never told us about how he got his name.
man, this was a secret. This is an age-old family secret. No, mine. I don't know. I used to go by. Don't laugh at me. I used to go by G Child when I was younger. I used to skateboard.
I'm
back
sorry,
when
I cannot laugh.
I used to go by G Child when I was younger, back when skateboarding was not the cool thing for everybody to do. So I used to skate with my friends. I wore a shirt. The brand was called Ghetto Child, but it said G Child, so everybody just called me G Child. So, and then I wanted to take, that was always my gamer tag. So, and then I wanted to take something, and I started Twitch. I was like, what could I do? What I'm familiar at, you know? And so I took the G out of there, and then I kind of paired it with gaming because it was on Twitch, so glitched. And then I was like, I can't just go around and be called glitched, glitch. And so I was like, glitch scythe. And here I am today. And I took the C out on purpose. It starts a lot of conversations.
Okay.
Everybody's like, bro, you misspelled. I'm like, oh, I know.
Did you know you misspelled your face?
Yeah, right. Yeah. All right. But real quick, guys, shout out what platforms you guys are on. Because I'm currently on Mixer. We're dual streaming to Mixer and Twitch. Shout out what platforms you guys are on.
So I am on YouTube and Twitch and Mixer, but I haven't been on Mixer as much as I said I was going to be. I'm going to be fixing that. So you can find me on YouTube, youtube.com/Will Wiggins, because someone took BlackOni, working on it. What
are the odds of that?
It's probably a guy that doesn't do anything on his page.
He's been inactive for like 7 years, dude. It's not even like I've reached out to him once. He was like, "Oh, I'm in military service. That's why it's been inactive." I'm like, "All right, cool. Let me just have the username. You're not using it."
Yeah, just give it to me.
It's probably the same little kid that took Cosmic Devil on Twitch.
It's the same motherfucker.
I honestly think. No, you can. You're good, man. You're good. You can.
He invited me back. I have a podcast. You're all right.
No, but I honestly feel like some people go around and literally somebody took one of my names on a platform too, and I was like, what are the odds of this? But it happens. It happened. All right. So when did you guys start streaming and why? I'll throw those two questions together. When and why? Go for it, BlackOni.
Oh, I was saying for you guys to start first, but
I'm just gonna address because everybody's waiting for someone else. So when and why BlackOni?
So when was it? 2014, 2015? It was one of those when I first started it, and it was mainly because we talked about this offline a little bit. My good friend Andy, he was the reason why I started live streaming. I used to just do YouTube only. I didn't really consider live streaming as like a thing that would be that interesting for me to do. Mainly, I just didn't think that people wanted it. So I was like, I haven't had any requests for it, so screw it. But we did a charity event, Extra Life, and had a blast doing it. And again, Andy was like, hey, we had a lot of fun. We had a bunch of people come through. I think you have a really great personality for this. You should pursue it. So I was like, all right, let me just try it out. So that's how I kind of got it started. And I just played, I didn't even play. I think I might have played a couple of Call of Duty games to start off.
Okay. All right. And you're talking about Andy L?
Andy Lunique, yeah.
The cook, right?
Yeah.
Oh, man. He's always teasing everybody with his food. I'm just like, bro, can I hire you as my chef, man? Just for one day.
I was very fortunate to have his food before. He came over and cooked, me and him cooked, and it was like,
it was great.
We're on a date.
Yeah, no, we're on a date. We're on a bromance date.
Heard that song, Why Do Birds?
Suddenly.
Right. All right.
All right. Yeah, I'm okay with this.
All right, confused. Devil. What about you? So when did you start and why did you start?
And what platform are you on?
I'm on Twitch, just Twitch. I can't figure out anything else. I started in the middle of January, so it's been 8, 9 months. So
Mhm.
Oh, he's a
Congrats,
baby.
man.
I'm a baby. I need a
Congrats.
suckle. No, I
Hey,
just
hey
did it.
now.
I did it. I never even knew about him. I had a buddy tell me, I was like, why do people want to watch other people play video games? It sounds stupid.
That was me. I was like,
That was
sounds
me.
dope.
I was like, that makes no sense.
And he's like,
Oh,
dude,
yeah.
all they do is play video games and talk to themselves. I was like, I do that anyway, man. So why not just show everybody else? You know what I'm saying? So that's it. That's my story.
All right. So, BlackOni, I know you're creative. You play games. Honestly, you have a very wide variety of games you play. Huge spectrum. You don't just stick to shooters. You don't just stick to pretty much just MMOs. You have a very wide variety, and that's what I like about you as a content creator. I can come to your stream one day. I see like you playing. What was the last game you played?
I think the last thing might have been Destiny, or it was. I'm gonna have to look at the archive for this because I don't remember. I
But
think
regardless,
it was Destiny,
regardless,
Yeah.
I can pretty much come here stream and there's always something new, something fun. So that's what I definitely like about you. But so why did you choose, in your case, why did you choose to be a variety streamer and a creative on Twitch?
Yeah, that's a really good question. There are a lot of people who will tell you that you have to pick a specific genre in order to be successful. And, I can agree with it to an extent. I think if you do stick to one thing, it's a lot easier for you to capture that audience who is looking for that on a consistent basis. I chose it because I just like a lot of things. And
Yeah,
I
right.
want to kind of just share that passion and share that love with other people who might feel the same way. My main genres, if I have to pick one, would be fantasy RPG or action fantasy RPG and creative. Like those would be like the two things I stuck to. But again, like I'm just talking about it before, Destiny, I'll play PUBG some days, I'll play Overwatch, or I'll play Metal Gear or Prey.
So pretty much you like to project your personality through the type of games you like to play with your community. That totally makes sense. I'm right there with you, man. I'm right there. Because I feel as gamers, everybody, stick to one game, grow your audience, your foundation. But one day you're going to grow to hate that game or want to play another game and feel like you're restricted. And that has happened to me. I guarantee it's happened to everybody in here. You wake up one morning, you're like, I don't want to play this game anymore. Yeah, right? I don't want to play anymore. And then you're so scared their viewers won't like it. But I feel like variety streamers are strong, and it's more of a hustle, it's more of a grind, more work, but you truly show who you are as a gamer. You know what I mean? What games you like. All right, Confused Devil, I know you are a 24-hour, 7 days a week, 365 boys a year, a role player, right? So why, out of all those games out there, out of the utopia of games, why did you choose RP?
So I was just telling the other guys about this. I was playing like ESO, I played Destiny. I just sucked at every game I played, right? This is my thing. Like, I suck so bad. Watch all this stuff. I don't remember what it was, but I saw some role play, and I was like, well, I mean, I can do that. I could be stupid, on purpose. Just like it's like I can't unintentionally, right?
No, it takes skill to be stupid and fun.
Damn right. Damn right.
It does.
You can tell when somebody's an idiot. You just I don't want to be near this guy.
Right. So I saw it, and I really, really love it. Like I was lucky enough to come on when it got pretty popular, but now I don't really see myself doing anything else besides roleplay. I think.
Okay, that's good.
I mean, I still like playing video games. But
there you go. Hey, I say, dude, whatever suits you, man. Whatever suits you. And BeardedNoob, what kind of games are you into right now? What are you touching on? What are you messing with?
I'm pretty much the same as Confused Devil. I like to role play. I even role play with myself. I just don't answer my own statements because then you're crazy. If you don't answer yourself, you're fine.
I just role play myself on a daily basis on so many levels. That sounded weird.
I do.
All right.
I think it's been really interesting though because role playing in games has always kind of been a thing that you just did as a one-off thing for a little while. Then you got back to regular. I'll break into Colonel, this is Snake. I'm currently infiltrating the base. I'll do that for a while and just stick around and hang out. But
Yeah.
Now, like it's really cool to see that it's become like its own subgenre.
Yeah, I totally agree. Roleplay back in the day, I'd be like, doing what? Making what kind of noises? That's weird. That's weird. But it's totally, like you said, it's totally cool that it's accepted, and people love it. It's like you're watching a movie. You know,
exactly.
I fell
Or
in,
you're watching a soap opera.
you're watching a soap opera, whether it be good or bad. But honestly, I fell in love with it. That's the same reason. And honestly, I feel like that's why I confused. And my boy Bearded, and hopefully one day BlackOni has fallen and will fall in love with it. You know what I mean?
Join us.
Yeah, join us, one of us. But this is a really good question. So, how are you guys staying relevant as content creators in this ever evolving world of Twitch, Mixer, YouTube, and pretty much any other platform out there? How are you trying to stay relevant, whether you are or whether you aren't, with what the games you're playing or the things you're doing live? BlackOni?
This is a really good question because a lot of people will tell you in order to stay relevant, you have to play the newest stuff all the time. And I think that works for some people who have already kind of gotten to an elevated point where like that's what they have to do to stay relevant. They have to be playing the new thing. But for everyone else, I wouldn't call us regulars. I would call us like you know, people who are up and coming. We're getting some good numbers. We're relevant already in that sense. But for us, we should be playing stuff that isn't directly new because we will get swallowed up by all those newer streamers or all those more established
Everybody
streamers
gets
doing that.
gobbled up on the new game by the bigger streamer.
Yeah, don't. I mean, unless it's something that you're just like looking forward to yourself, you just want to play because you want to play it. Like, go for it. But in terms of like just staying relevant in general, part of it is finding ways to make yourself different than other people. Another part of it is exploring and trying to experience different things and showing your audience different stuff too. I mean, it's hard to stay relevant in anything that you do because there's always going to be people who are doing it in a different way or doing something that maybe people are looking forward to seeing more.
Yeah.
It's
all right. Confused Devil, what are you doing to stay above water? You know, fight off all the many fishes in the ocean.
Am I relevant?
You are relevant, man. You're a great content creator.
You're very relevant.
What do I do, man?
What's the secret sauce?
Secret sauce, sex appeal, and twisted steel. I guess. I mean,
there you go.
There you go.
Honestly, man, I just I think just trying to be original and having some stick to itiveness. That's what's been. I mean, I don't have the experience of. I've only been around 9 months, so I'm not real sure. You guys are hard workers. I'm a lazy son of a bitch, man. I mean,
you putting work.
Well, I mean, if you're going hard streaming every day, you're working hard
to work, man.
I haven't streamed since like the beginning of August. I had to take a hiatus because of school. It was whooping my ass.
Yeah, I've streamed pretty much every day for months and months. I've taken like a day here and a day there, but I mean, it'll be 3 weeks before I take a break. So, I mean, hard work and perseverance, son.
There you go. All right. So BlackOni, do you have any big plans? Anything lurking, down the road that's gonna that you're looking forward to? I mean, you don't gotta tell us the secrets and everything, but do you have anything you're working on right now?
Wait, hold on. Let me get a pen here and a paper.
Yeah, let's just take some notes.
I mean, it ain't. Listen. The biggest thing that I'm working on right now is the comic. That first and foremost is like my number one priority in terms of like bigger projects. So a little context for people who maybe don't know what I'm even talking about. I have been in production of a comic book that I'm going to have on Kickstarter as soon as it's done. At least for like the whole sketching process is done. I've been telling people on stream about the story and about like what it's mainly going to be centering around, the different types of themes that are about it and the different inspirations that went behind making it. So that for first and foremost is the thing. Very quick synopsis on that. Takes place in the far future and takes place in the future. The world has been reborn. Everybody knows that this world's been reborn, but they don't know how they got there and why. So everybody is on the hunt for something called relics. And the relics tell the story of what happened in the old world. So we live in the old world right now, but we don't know when that old world cutoff is. And there are relics that have like magical properties. So sometimes it's just like stuff like a cell phone, where it's just like literally just something that helps tell the story of what life was like, or how they got to the point where the old world was destroyed. And some of it's stuff that's like, a cell phone that's actually like magically imbued. It has runes in it, and it has different languages that have magical properties built into the runes themselves. I don't want to go on too long about it, but that's like the big thing that I have going on outside of this. I eventually want to make it a video game as well. So like a lot of the systems that are set in place for it are centered around the idea of video games. So there's something called a capacity orb, which is directly tied to your own spiritual level. So if the stronger you are spiritually, the more you can have in this kind of realm.
Okay.
So,
well, I'll tell you this right now, BlackOni. I like to do voice acting for cheap.
Yeah.
So.
okay.
You can pay me in gum, bro. Pay me in gum. I will.
I'm happy to. There are some other things that are brewing on the way, but that's definitely one thing I can tell people about.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm looking forward to that, man. Definitely keep us updated. That is really, really cool. Really cool. What about you, Confused? What are you working on? What you plotting?
This is RP a Hick Sheriff's Deputy. That's pretty much all I'm gonna do from now on.
Okay. All right.
I mean, what was the question again?
What are you working on? Is there anything big down the road that you're working on?
I don't
right
think
now?
so, man. I mean, I started streaming. I never planned on getting partnered. You know what I mean? I'm never going to. I don't see myself ever changing things up from how I want them to be, just to be successful, even though I hate my job. But I'm gonna follow the RP wherever it goes, because that's my thing.
Yeah, you're happy where you're at. Yeah, that's good, man.
Yeah.
Honestly, Bearded.
No, I was just gonna say that I'm the same way as you, Confused. Like, as soon as I started finally role playing, I jumped from Reign of Kings to Ark, and then to GTA 5, and like every time like the community that I'm a part of branches out to try to say like Dark and Light or the Wild Wild West or whatever it is, whatever game they may all go to, I eventually go, oh, okay, let me jump on here and see what it's like. And a lot of times it's good, but there have been a few hit and misses. Dark and Light, I'm looking at you.
I remember that one. I remember Dark and Light. Everybody started role playing on that for like a month.
Yeah,
it just went nowhere.
Everybody's trying to find the next big RP push.
Yeah, currently GTA's there. We're waiting for. I pray to the gods every day. I did need to come out to role play in, but who knows? All right. So this, I really want to project this to you guys. Everybody has their own perspective, opinions. What is everybody's current thoughts? And I understand some of us are biased. It's gonna obviously biasness is inevitable on this. But what is everybody's thoughts on the current available streaming and content creating platforms, whether it be YouTube, Mixer, Hitbox, Twitch? What is everybody's opinion? The pros, the cons. How do you guys feel about it? BlackOni?
I started things off on YouTube, and I like the platform a lot. And this is going to be something that I have a gripe with all of them. And it comes to their very aggressive stance on monetized content and copyrighted content and stuff like that. So I'll use the example of Let's Plays and or even reviews or even commentary stuff on Twitch. We have a lot less of this issue, but you will have like VODs that are ineligible for like people to actually hear what the hell's going on, because it'll have copyrighted music in the background or something, or like there's a hint of like some copyrighted content. And I understand that there are laws set in place that specifically prevent people from abusing the ability to consume content. But when it comes to YouTubers or people on Twitch, like there's nobody in the history of ever who's going to go to some YouTuber's channel who does gaming Let's Plays and listen to the House Music Mix 101 because they want to hear that mix. They're going there because they want to see that person and they want to listen to that person talk, and the music is just literally what the person might be listening to while they're playing.
The big problem with that though is the industry that it pertains to, whether it be music or what, wants their cut of the royalty. And so
well, And that's the thing, like I'd be totally fine with them getting a cut of the royalty, but like my video isn't based on that bit of music that's in the
Yeah.
video. That's just a part of like the whole sum of what I'm giving to someone. So like if I do a review of a movie, for example, and I use clips of the movie to explain what it is I'm talking about,
You might hit on YouTube.
I might get a copyright hit on YouTube, but it does fall under their fair use
Yeah, it
copyright
does.
agreement.
Mhm.
So now I have to have this battle with them to get them to actually look at, and the process of doing that can sometimes takes months or
Yeah.
in some cases years. Like I have videos that I did a tutorial on like how to set up the Elgato game capture card, like the regular HD one. And it used footage from Killzone Shadowfall.
Mhm.
And it got flagged. It probably got automatically copyright flagged as opposed to going after it. And YouTube still hasn't looked at it and said and seen clearly this is what I'm doing. I'm giving people a breakdown of how all these elements work. So
Yeah.
that's like one of my biggest criticisms of YouTube. And the other platforms have it just to an extent, but I think YouTube's the worst with that. But we'll probably talk about this a little bit more later.
Mhm.
But Adpocalypse, for example,
Oh Lord. Oh Lord.
and it's just it's dicey, it's messy, and I think they just need to figure out a better solution to it because it's just
It's not working out. Yeah.
Well, like, and looking at the whole aspect of it too, YouTube has become such a horribly just volatile, YouTuber against YouTuber thing. Like that's the only way that I see anybody getting big nowadays is like
Drama.
they gotta have a drama fight with another YouTuber, and then both the channels blow up, and then somebody like Keemstar does a thing about them, so they blow up even more. And like that's why I've been off YouTube. Like I might have a Twitch highlight or two go to there,
Yeah.
but I don't.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And okay. All right. What about you, Confused? What are your thoughts on Mixer, YouTube, and Twitch? You know, pros, cons.
G, you and I are gonna have some sort of beef, so we can.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, bro. We gotta do something.
Right.
Yeah.
I can barely figure out Twitch. I mean, I got a YouTube, but I had stopped putting videos on there because I was doing them while I was at work.
oh
So I don't have enough time to do them any other time. You know what I'm saying? If I wanna keep streaming every day,
yeah, I feel you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
for right now, I don't think I'm going to leave Twitch right now. It's
Mhm.
been I haven't had any negative experiences as far as Twitch goes.
Mhm.
I'd like to start using YouTube more, but it's a lot of work, man.
Oh, it
It's a
is,
lot of
though.
work.
Especially if you work
My hats
full-time.
off to you guys. I like to stay simple. I'm a simple man.
There you
Yeah.
go.
You know what
I can empathize with that
I mean? Right?
completely. Like
Yeah.
there are times I'm like I don't want to do.
It's
Yeah.
man. It's a lot of work to even do the Twitch. At least for me. I mean,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you're doing it every day like you are, you ain't got time to really do anything else but go to work, shit, eat, sleep, and go right back
That's
to Twitch.
true.
Sometimes I leave out the pooping.
Yeah,
You gotta sometimes.
so you gotta take one for the team, man. That's
Yeah,
how
you
it
gotta take one for the
goes.
team, man.
You're screaming at your wife, bring me the bucket!
All right, so I think this would be really good for a lot of people that are thinking about starting content creating, whether it be on Mixer, or Twitch, or just live streaming in general. What kind of tips would you guys give out personally that'll help somebody that is new? You know, what have you done? What have you messed up, or what have you failed at? What have you learned throughout your year or months on Twitch that you've learned from? What tips and tricks could you give them, BlackOni?
This is a really big one, and I can empathize it because I was there before.
Mhm.
When you're starting off, like do your very best not to self-promote. Like don't go to someone else's channel and be like, hey, this is cool, come check out my stuff.
Oh Lord.
Whether it's
Oh,
a YouTube
Lord.
video or a Twitch stream or Mixer or whatever it is, just don't do that.
Mhm.
Just
Van Hammer in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
ban hammer in a heartbeat. And I get it. It's hard to get your name out there. It's hard to get people to notice you. But one of the easiest things you can do is be a part of whatever community that you like.
Yep.
Be a part of it. Get active in their community, whether it's on the videos or Discord or Twitter. Just make yourself known just through regular interaction, talking with them, being a generally good person. Because usually what happens especially with not the really, really big guys, but some of the, moderately big people is that they take notice of that and they look at who's watching their content and they say, oh, this person actually live streams as well. Like, let me just take a look at this one clip real quick and see if they're pretty good.
People
Oh,
notice.
okay,
People
cool.
notice. Yep.
Like, that's how I've actually like started following a lot of my own people who've been following. I just like literally looked at who was following me.
Yep.
And I did that. So that's definitely one thing. Another thing is, again, don't try to jump on the biggest, hottest game just because it's going to get you viewership.
Mhm.
Find stuff that you like. Find stuff that you genuinely want to play, and play it often. Don't be afraid to venture out to other games as well. But if you really are trying to get yourself established and footed in there, like find something or a particular thing that you like to do and make that a regular thing. But then, always have time to just do other stuff and play other stuff.
Yeah. Totally agree.
I'll let you guys go.
All right, Confused. And what about you?
Who, me?
Yes.
I don't know.
You.
No, I'm just kidding. I think I've got a lot of things to say actually, because I'm pretty new and I've seen what hasn't worked and what has worked, or at least for me. I think number one, you have to like whatever you're playing. I see a lot of people, this new big game's coming out, I'm going to play it because that's what everybody's watching right now.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't like the game, you're not going to stick with it. People are going to be able to see that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Also, don't give up your principles for the sake of getting more viewers and followers.
Amen.
I think.
Amen.
I wish people would listen to that rule.
Right. I've seen people that I still interact with today that I love them. They're friends of mine. I can talk to them anytime. But when they stream or anything like that, they switch modes into a really toxic individual.
They are someone else, right?
And they are someone else, and they do it in their chat. They when you stream, I noticed you get in what you put out, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh yes.
So if you're a toxic individual when you stream, you're going to get a toxic audience.
Yep.
Oh, absolutely.
That is going to snowball.
Yeah, that's how it happens.
Right. It's going to snowball into more and more toxicity.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So yeah, don't give up your principles.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it could be easy sometimes to be like, oh, well, if I'm more negative, or if I act this way or a certain way, or if I do this on stream, there's gimmicks. Gimmicks are okay. Dr. Disrespect wears, his mustache, his hat. He does it amazing. But if you change who you are morally, just to get views, the question is, yeah, some people can live with themselves, but at the end of the day, when somebody meets you personally, IRL, they can definitely tell the difference. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I would definitely suggest stay true to who you are. Even if you're not getting hundreds of views or thousands of views, stay true to who you are. Because at the end of the day, you will be happy where you were and what you did to accomplish that, rather than you feel guilty like, oh no, man. You're going to regret it. You know what I mean?
I feel like I'm being fake to everybody.
Yeah, I'm feeling fake. And people will notice. One day, somebody will call you out. It'll definitely catch up.
You don't need that drama. You
Well, and
don't
like-
need that.
I've personally had an experience where there was somebody that messaged me on Twitch back when I used to not have it to where I had to follow you before I could message you, or you could message me. Somebody messaged me and there was like, they go, there's no way that you're the person that you portray on your stream. There's no way that you're this guy that tries to be nice to everybody, yada, yada, yada. And so when I finally met somebody in real life that's known me for like 2+ years through Twitch roleplay, I asked him, I said, dude, am I the same as when you first met me, and we've interacted online and through Discord? He's like, yeah, you're the same. I'm like, thanks, man, because that shit's been in the back of my brain for like half a year from what this jackass said to me. But I wanted to ping pong off what you said, BlackOni, about like just doing your thing and you'll get noticed. When I was on Mr. Moon's private Reign of Kings server, I ran into this random guy that was like role playing his butt off. He was hilarious. And I'm all like, who is this guy? And someone in my chat was like, oh, I think that this guy is such and such. And I like go look at this dude's Twitch page and he has like 10 followers. And so like I made it my mission to get people to watch him because he was pretty funny. Granted his stuff's changed a little bit, but he was hilarious back then. And so like BlackOni's got it right, guys and gals. Like, you don't have to like try to like piggyback off people. Yes, network. Get a part of a community that you want to be a part of.
Mhm.
And sometimes it takes work. You're not going to be that small 1% that magically gets noticed by somebody gigantic and they go, "Come on, little bird, come under my wing." It takes time. Just
Yeah.
be
Yep.
genuine. That's the
Yep.
big one. Just be yourself. Don't try to be what people think you want you to be.
Yeah.
Mm.
That honestly, I cannot say that better. Be yourself. Don't be what you think people want you to be. Be yourself.
Yeah.
Good Lord Jesus, I could not have said that better.
There's so many other small things that you can throw in there as well. I want to
Mhm.
give everybody a chance to give their things.
Mhm.
The other big one is don't go spending a bunch of money on stuff like, say, a Blue Yeti mic and a green screen, and you only have like 5 followers. Build it up slowly.
Yeah.
Once you start hitting like I like G on your Twitch page. I don't know if your Mixer page does, but you had all these milestones of like what you would do once you hit this
Mhm.
many followers and that many followers.
Mhm.
I used to do that, but I am so lazy that I just took they were like, "You didn't do this." So I'm all like, that
Yeah,
went
you're
off my
right.
panel. I don't have that anymore.
I don't do that anymore. Let me just delete this right here. Yeah. Yeah. It's something I thought it would be really cool, because as a community, we've it's not just me, as a community, we've hit those milestones. I like to document. But yeah.
I mean, there are other things I want to. Oh wait,
Mhm.
were you about to
Oh,
add one?
no, go for it. Go for it.
There are sites that you can use to measure your progress.
Mm-hmm.
But those sites will eat you up, though.
Yes,
they'll start racking your brain. Like, what is it? Social
Yeah.
Blade. That's one of them.
Oh yeah, okay. So Social Blade, I like it, but I don't like it, and I'll
Mhm.
explain. I like that it gives you a snapshot of how you compare to
Mhm.
the rest of the world in terms of like content creation.
Mhm.
I also don't like that it compares you to the rest of the world in
Yeah,
content creation.
yeah,
But it's
because you're like, oh man, it just makes
can
you
I
crunch
just be me?
numbers. It makes you
Yeah,
crunch numbers. Yeah, I
yeah,
agree, man. Like numbers, pages of numbers is good. Everybody would say on YouTube, on Twitch, any platform where you're trying to make progress, paying attention to numbers is good because you can kind of measure your success or where your growth,
yeah. That's what you
But
want to do.
that's what you want to do.
measure growth,
Mhm.
but don't get too caught up in trying to be
Don't
everyone
compare. Yeah.
like look
Yeah.
at your own progression. Like, all
Mhm.
right, I noticed I streamed every day this week,
Mhm.
and Tuesday my numbers were a lot lower than they were the other days.
Mhm.
So that's when you reflect. You take some time to say, all right, what did I do differently that day? If I
Yep.
didn't do anything differently, what was going on in terms of releases?
Mhm.
And just use that data to help guide you towards what else you do next. But don't let the numbers themselves consume you too much, because it'll hurt you. It'll make you feel like you're not good anymore.
Mhm.
That's just something you got to keep in mind. And there's a site that I've been using for like the past month. There's been other ones I've looked at before, but the one that I've been using now is Twinge. And
What's
it's a
it called?
really Twinge, TWINGE TV.
Mhm.
I was just looking at my other monitor, looking at it now, and it's a great tool because it gives you snapshots of what your past 2 days, 7 days, 14, or last, in my case, 898 days.
Mhm.
Jesus. And it literally tracks what your growth is amongst those games. So it'll give you your time played.
Mhm.
It'll give you the viewer percentage for that time played that you had compared to your other games. So it compares you to what you did. So it compares
Okay.
all the data against what you've already been putting.
Well, it shows you which game has worked better for you.
Yeah, and it gives you more information that Twitch as a platform doesn't. I don't think Mixer does as well.
Mhm.
It's just really useful. It helps guide what you do next. Like I thought
Yeah.
for a while, like when I was playing Destiny 2, I was like, ain't nobody watching me. By the way, when I stream, I don't look at my numbers until after.
Me neither. Me neither.
So and
I'm the same way. Watching them while you stream is the worst thing you can do.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Do you do that, Confused?
Yes.
Yeah.
You will learn, Padawan.
You will learn. All right. So we're gonna move on to a game. We're gonna talk about some really fun upcoming or current games. We're gonna talk about some Mountain Blade, and my boy Confused seems to be a god in this game. He's like, wait, what?
Godlike.
He seems to be well versed in this game. So take it away, man. Take it away.
No, I'm not. just like it, man.
I just like it. Yeah.
Any time that I can go up, in a game and hit somebody in the face with an axe is, it's a good game. I like the the original ones. They got all the different modded ones and stuff like that out. It's got everything where the whole medieval vibe where you get your weapons, you get your armor, you build basically a war band, and you can fight for other kingdoms and all that kind of stuff, or you can do your own stuff. I mean, I played the original one probably like 6 months ago. I was addicted to it. The graphics were horrible. It was kind of clunky, but I just couldn't pull myself away. There's nothing like riding like on your horse with a bunch of guys behind you and you shove a spear in somebody's neck. You can have all the politicking and stuff. You can try to get married. I never had any game. I never could get married on that game.
That was one of the achievements. I just
right.
Never could do it.
I can't do it, man. Their idiot dads are always like waging war against me, so then I have to kill them, and then
you gotta murder a whole
I ain't
village.
got no time for women.
That sounds like life, dude.
It sounds like life.
Right?
That sounds exactly like life.
I mean, daily basis, I hit somebody in the face with an axe. I mean,
it's like just taking people out with spears.
Can I live my life?
Yeah, can you just let me live my life? All right, cool. So we're gonna run a quick trailer of that. I think everybody has I guess access to it. I'm gonna count down, and so we're watching the same trailer at the same time. Let me know when you guys are ready.
I'm watching on. So it's already
okay. All right,
go for it.
All right, 3, 2, 1, let's go. I'm not gonna lie, this ice looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it does.
Look at all that neck stab.
Chopping people up.
Right.
My question is, will they have custom servers? Because that would be amazing in this one.
Did you say custom zippers?
Servers. Like, oh, your zipper is of platinum standard. I shall fight you for it.
Fight to the death. Fight.
Okay. All right. So, I mean, this right here, I mean, what I've noticed, if you guys don't mind putting my input, I have one question about this. Is everybody on the field, is that a player or NPCs?
No, it's NPCs. Now, that would be the most amazing game I'd ever play if everybody was. But I know that there's lots of mods that come out for these games. I don't think that there's been anything on this exact game. But they've been throwing around the idea of some sort of co-op or multiplayer.
Yeah.
So I guess we just have to wait. I have not. I mean, maybe someone out there that's smarter and knows how to find information, but I haven't been able to find anything out about co-op because that would be pretty badass. I'd RP through it.
There's actually
role play it out.
A game called Of King and Men, I believe. That's like, I don't like the way that their PvP is set up, but it's like faction-based PvP against other people, and it's supposed to be like grand scale, like hundreds versus hundreds of hundreds. I think they're biting off more than they can chew, but
yeah, sounds like it. I'll try it though.
Right.
And you know what I mean?
I'm actually how much does this game cost?
$1 Brazilian.
$1 bazillion. This actually looks very tempting.
For a second there, I thought you said Brazilian dollars. I'm like, I could
get
that.
It's just exchange some currency. But no, this game actually looks pretty fun. This game reminds me of this, I guess you could say, third-person view of like Age of Empires. You know?
You
kind of like, you kind of
like
like RTS. You kind of click your battles. You tell your men to go. But this looks so.
Have you
cool.
played the original?
Of this or Age of Empires?
Mountain Blade.
No, I haven't. I haven't, man.
Oh, well, yeah, man. I mean, it's not just fighting on the field either. You've got to go to these different kingdoms and try to get, popularity or being famous. You gotta talk, you gotta do the behind the scenes, talking to the counts and the generals and all that kind of crap.
Mm-hmm.
Macking on the ladies, getting turned down.
Macking on the ladies.
Then going out and killing their father. So it's not just fighting and stuff like that. And they've got siege battles and all that kind of shit. So.
Okay. I'm definitely gonna be checking that out. There we go. You have converted me.
I really like that scene where the guy's stabbing the other dude on the horse, and like you just see this giant blood spray behind him, like someone's got a hose, like from Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, right. if you're standing on the ground and you've got a big axe, you can actually cut the horse out from underneath the guy.
Ooh.
And then,
okay.
Savage.
Yeah.
I do have a question to kind of send to you. You're way confused. How do you think these games fare in the whole, I guess, utopia realm of the gaming industry? Because right now, currently, I mean, what you got? Survival games, RTSs. I mean, survival games and BR games are pretty much top echelon of gaming right now. I mean, that's the fad. That's what everybody wants to play. That's what every game, every dev or every company wants to put out. What do you think these games tie in there?
I can already tell you right now the big reason why survival games are the hot button on that side of it is because of the role play scene that's been exploding in the last year or so.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think another part of it is that there's like high stakes behind what they do. So like, you don't just start off with all the gear. You start off with nothing. You have to build yourself up, and you have to, you have high stakes. You have to worry about this, that, and the third, or some creature who you weren't looking at now going to kill you. There's a little more danger.
Yeah, I mean, this to me, this game's got a lot of everything. It's got it's kind of a niche.
I was going to say that.
Confused.
Niche.
Being somebody that's played the first one, is there a lot of too much busy work though when you're not doing this horse riding around fighting stuff?
Yes. Absolutely.
For someone like me, man, like you've got to feed your idiots that follow you around. You've got to find all that kind of stuff. You've got to worry. I mean, you can worry about trade and me. You could have an army. At least originally, you could have an army up to 60 characters or whatever. I just made them all heavy horsemen, charged in every battle. You can do strat. I also played on easy.
I played on easy.
You can also strategize. I mean, there was a lot to do. It's pretty busy playing on easy. It wasn't too bad. I just had to keep the food all right.
So was there an actual multiplayer aspect to it, or was it just single player?
Yeah, could you play on like PvP?
There was PvP. It was not. Let's put it this way: it's not as good as I hoped that the PvP is going to be on this one. Wow. It was pretty run at the guy, swing your sword,
and hope he dies.
Hope you hit him in the neck or eyeball.
Like the melee combat in PUBG.
Yes,
pretty much.
Yes.
You just swing with your eyes closed. Exactly. That's what I do. I'm just swinging. I hope I hit him in the neck.
That's basically
just exactly Superman punch. Just Superman.
Man, I'm still having a flashback glitch to you playing PUBG last Sunday. I felt so bad for you.
I don't want to talk about it. Man.
I missed this.
I know I was playing PUBG and I've never had a worse day in pub history. Like I couldn't. Everywhere I land, I got shot in the face. Or I'd spawn in, I couldn't find a gun, I'd get sniped. It was bad.
My God.
It was horrible.
He would take like 5 steps and start getting shot at. So.
I just landed. Yeah, I couldn't do anything right. But then I had those days where I was like wrecking everybody, but I don't want to talk about it. But question. So where do you guys see games like these fitting in Twitch? You know what I mean? Now, this game, honestly, in my eyes, looks amazing. Looks like it's a game you can play with your friends. Hopefully, PvE comes out for numero dos. But how do you guys think these games don't fit into the streaming, ecosystem? Do you think viewers wouldn't want to watch this, or is this a perfect game that viewers want to watch, or is it like if you said it's very niche, so only certain people want to watch something like that?
Well, like coming from the perspective of somebody who does not like to play this kind of like battle games, there is honestly a market for anybody on Twitch. The big thing is how long are you gonna stick with it? Who's gonna watch it? Because I mean, this game will come out. I guarantee you, when this game comes out, you're gonna have some of the bigger streamers playing it. It's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And then after like maybe a month or two, they'll be like, "Well, this game is boring to me now. I'm gonna go on to the next new game," you know. And then say, example, just using you Confused. Let's say someone like Confused who's played the first one might be like, "Oh my god, this is the best fucking game I've ever played. I love the battle style. I love chopping people's heads off." You know, that's gonna be the guy that's gonna be playing this, and you're gonna come in this channel and be like, "How the fuck do you have this?" But oh, well, you got to do this, this, and this, this, and that's when you get like the people that who want to play it, and you'll build your fan base off of that. So I mean, there's no reason I don't think this game wouldn't do well. I mean, it's not gonna be like say League of Legends or Dota or PUBG, but it could. It just depends on what's hot at the time.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. All right. So we're gonna move on to talk about a game that I actually have recently formed a love-hate relationship bond with, Cuphead. How many guys? How many Confused? I'm pretty sure everybody here's heard about Cuphead or seen someone play it or played it themselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have lurked on you playing that, and it is so delicious
It
to
is.
watch you just
It
rage.
is right. It is. And like I don't rage, but this game. Now, if I could sum this,
It
game
might
up,
make you be a rager.
It might make you
get that look on your face, G.
I'm
You're
just
just like,
oh my god, yeah. I'm just like, oh Lord, save myself. Don't throw the controller. No, but this game right here, guys. Honestly, I feel like it's a. I was commenting on somebody said something on Twitter. I think it was Mixer, and about how Cuphead, it was beautiful, and I comment, this game is a breath of fresh air. You know, there's so many shooters coming out, so many games that are so like, you got 5,000 new features here, 1 trillion things on your screen at once. You know, you got all these sounds going out, bells and whistles, and some people like those games, but at the same time, it's nice to like, I don't even call it dumb it down, but make it simple, make it clean, and just convey your message. And I feel like that's where Cuphead succeeds. Because it takes you back to the, like, you know, what, the 1930s style of retro games, you know, with the grainy screen, with the cheesy music, you know, with the top-down view, with the side-scrolling, but it works so well. I mean, it's audible, visual, you know, it's pretty much on all those spectrums pleasing to the ears and the eyes. This game is hard, yes, but it's hard enough that you want to keep coming back. You know, it's not like Dark Souls, you're just like, I'm done with this game. I'll come back to it next year. But this game it just hits the right spot where it's like, yes, it's challenging, but you keep want to go because you want to find out what's next. You know,
It hits the G spot.
I see what you did there.
Cha-ching!
The G spot. I see what you did. That was pretty good. I'm gonna run a quick trailer real quick, but honestly, this game is $20, and if you have $20 to spare, or you're saving up, or even thinking about buying this game, guys, this game is a must-have. It is a must-have to add to your Steam. It's also available on PC and Xbox. Unfortunately, PlayStation did get it. Shots fired. But it's a great game. It's a great game. I'm gonna run the trailer in 3, 2, 1. Xbox. Those 10. It is honestly amazing. Honestly amazing. And I think the thing that kind of grabs me about this, each boss is very unique. I mean, the art style takes you back. It kind of gives you this nostalgic feeling. You know what I mean? Because I think all of us can remember playing Nintendo and Sega Genesis. You know what I mean? I mean, raise your hands. Who here has played Sega Genesis or Nintendo? I think all of us can, like, what, Sonic the Hedgehog, Mario. If you haven't played those games, you haven't lived as a child. But I think this game hits a spot where it's like, it takes you back to those times where you're like, you reminisce like, man, that was a fun game. Man, this Sonic was awesome. Man, Mario was awesome. And I get to relive it through a newer game, you know? And I'm actually gonna applaud, a round of applause to the devs and the company who made this game. I mean, they put their neck out for it. I mean, it has to be, honestly, in this day and age of gaming, where you put out a game like this and you hope to God that it succeeds. You know, because you look at this game, it's like, who's really gonna want to play it? You know, because everybody's swept up in the Call of Duty, the Battlefield 1, the PUBG, the Fortnite, you know, Dark Souls, all these graphically pleasing games. Don't get me wrong, this is graphically pleasing. The same
this game looks amazing.
It does look amazing, but it's like
this is maybe the second thing I've seen about this game.
Yeah, but you also have to wonder as a dev, or I guess a person in the industry, will this game succeed? You know, because I think BlackOni, everybody can agree here. There are some games that are great games, but they were either before their time or way after their time. That would have been perfect a couple years earlier or a couple years later. You know what I mean?
Lawbreakers was one of those games. That game isn't bad, but if they had tweaked things just a little bit differently or came out at a different time, they would have been in a much better place. Like, I'll forever say that I think the thing that was hurting Lawbreakers more so than anything else, aside from like Cliffy B kind of being abrasive to people sometimes, is that Overwatch. Overwatch, they're very different games, but people will always make comparisons to them because they are online only, multiplayer focused, objective focused.
Well, and that's the thing too. Like, once a game comes out that is super successful, as example Overwatch, you then get people that call everything else that's similar in any style like it as a clone. I mean, you take any game, like you go back to like Castlevania, or like this game reminds me of like a retro style Ghouls and Ghosts. I mean, like who remembers, like, if any of you guys played that and beat it? That game was hard as shit.
It was so hard.
And like, I never even beat it. Like, so. But I'm sold. I've actually already just bought this and I'm downloading it right now.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's $20. I mean, I honestly feel like no matter how big or how small your community is, no matter what gameplay, I think everybody can agree that this game is a breath of fresh air. And it's a lot of fun for viewers and for streamers. Like, and if you're going to buy this, please buy a PlayStation controller or Xbox. Do not try this on your keyboard. Because it's terrible.
I have a story about this glitch. I was sitting on my couch, scrolling through Twitter, sipping out of my giant Yeti knockoff mug, and I saw a tweet from you saying, going to the store to buy an Xbox controller for Cuphead. I spit my water out laughing because I was like, you tried to play this with keyboard and mouse?
I did. It was before I started streaming, I was like, let me jump on, let me see what I expect. And I was thinking that it was like your keyboard and your mouse. Like, you kind of control which direction you shoot with your mouse. No, Lord help me. It was all keyboard. It was so clunky. Because as you can see, you can shoot up, right, left, and kind of shoot like, at an angle. You know how hard it is to shoot at an angle? You have to hold your up key and your right key at the same time while you're running around. I was like, I can't do this. So I literally hightailed it out of here. I'm done. Ran to the mall and grabbed the controller. It's probably the first time I've used a controller in like years. But I was like,
oh man,
it is. You need a controller. But it honestly, it feels right. It feels right and it works, And I read a Twitter post about the company who made it. They actually they struggled making this game, you
have to imagine.
Yeah, I mean,
it took forever to get it out first.
Yeah, I mean, and everything in this is hand drawn. From what that's the only thing I know is that every scene is individually, painstakingly hand drawn.
It's amazing.
I mean, I heard somebody talking about the process, and they paint the clouds this way, let it go. Paint the clouds that way. So that is amazing. Now, I think the message, like, we know as gamers and as people that look into this company and this game, because I think a lot of people have been following for a while, we know how much work that went into this. But the average gamer, do they really know how much work to this? You know what I mean? All they really see is, well, here's a game, this looks fun, or it's not fun, and that's it, And I think this ties into, I think this honestly touched more into like the creative side and artists, because so much work went into this game. It's not just CGI, graphics, game functions. This is, somebody had to draw these, every single scene. It's pretty much like an animation, like a cartoon. That's what it is, that you control, Well,
and I mean, it feels like the Can You Feel the Love Tonight? Like, it's been put into this kind of musical, crescendo of a game. Like, just getting that potato looking boss, the thing was awesome. Now there's an onion. That's crazy.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like, this game keeps you on the edge because, like, what's next? And it's literally, it's awesome. Yes, it's hard, but it's like, look at, the carrot. You got a carrot shooting carrots at you. Whoever would have thought that you're fighting a garden, But at the same time, it's
Right.
like, yeah, but at the same time, it's like, it's fun. As of right now on Xbox, you can play co-op. So if you have your friend or, you know, anybody that wants to play with you, you can play co-op. But on PC, no, you can play co-op on PC. You just need 2 controllers or somebody using your keyboard and or controller.
But it's not online co-op.
It's not
that
online
would be
co-op.
amazing. If you could
Yeah, that would be so much fun. And I think they were talking about that's coming soon. I think that's coming soon because can you imagine how many speed runs and playthroughs you could do with your friends for this game?
That would be a lot of fun.
It'd be really, really cool.
Runs. I mean, I don't think I could. This game, my brain doesn't connect that you know.
That sentence.
there's a whole other subgenre that has been like
Yeah.
you know almost underground popular is the speedrun. I could see this being a speedrun game.
Yeah, sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I would definitely say this, along with Hellblade, which we did cover in another podcast, is amongst my top 2. I'll definitely make a top 5 list by the end of the year. But Hellblade in this game is a must play, you know. And I'm not big on hack and slashes. I'm not big on side scroller indie games, but these games, you know, grabbed my eyes and ears, and I was like, I gotta play it. You know. All right, so we're gonna move on to Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yes. So the reason I wanted to talk about this, it's an older game. And again, this is one of those things I was telling people about. Oftentimes people think they have to play the new thing in order to be relevant, which is not the case. I actually bought the game on launch, played it a little bit because I was just looking forward to this game so much since it was even talked about. And I put it down. I put it away for like 4 or 5 months. Didn't touch it, not even for a second. And I picked it up again and played it again, and I got a really good number of people watching because they had already seen other people play it. You know, all the bigger streamers who wanted to get their hands on it had already done it at that point. And it's one of those games that comes around that totally blows you away in terms of the visuals, in terms of the way they deliver the story. The story isn't like revolutionary, but the way it kind of like eases you into each little tidbit of information and stuff that it reveals to you is it's really like lovely and really awesome. The combat is easy to understand, but more complex once you get down to like intricacies and how different enemy types react and respond to different things. The discoverability is like really awesome as well. You get to there's like a trophy for discovering all the different machines in the game, and you want to do it because you want to see what you haven't seen yet. Like, oh man, there's more machines that I haven't discovered yet. Like, let me find what they are. Or there are these really cool locations. I want to see if I can get this really cool snapshot. It's got like the in-game camera, so like they knew what they were doing when they made this game.
Visually, I saw a bunch of people taking pictures and stuff. I was like, I mean, people doing action shots. And I was like, okay, I see you.
Yeah.
Feel
free to put the trailer up right now so people can get a chance to see what I'm talking about. I'm sure most people here have seen it in some way.
All right, 3, 2, 1, let's go.
The massacre was only the beginning. Who did this to us? Who attacked the tribe?
For the record, I hate that only on PlayStation thing.
All we can do is
I'd be all over this game if it was on PC.
Yeah, save us.
That's how they get you.
Find the killers.
So you will have to leave the sacred land.
Where the trail leads, I will go.
Not gonna lie, it looks beautiful.
If you have a PlayStation, of course, that's the stipulation.
Yeah.
It's not even a question. It's not even a question. It's amongst one of my favorite games of all time.
There's a threat to us all. Men in masks, raising up ancient machines. And I've seen their leader.
From the depths, I will raise an army. A storm of shadows to take back what's ours.
It's got elements of stealth in there. It's got like you have to be very mindful of different enemies' weaknesses, and you can trigger the focus to see what their weakness is in the moment, but you can still work around that. And
Yeah.
just
I almost feel like this is the modern day Last of Us on the PC.
well, this isn't on the PC.
I mean, modern day version of the Last of Us for this. 'Cause that came out a few years ago, right?
Yeah, The Last of Us came out a few years ago. Part 2's coming. That's going to be glorious.
The end.
But this game reminds me of The Last of Us in a lot of ways. It reminds me of The Witcher. It reminds me of
The Witcher. That's what I would. Yeah.
Yeah, this is probably the closest to The Witcher, but it does have a lot of that Last of Us vibe. Like there's the stealth elements. There's craft, like on the go crafting. There's a lot of elements in this game that just like make it.
Pre-order and get weapon and armor
The side stories as well. Like I don't know if everyone here has played Witcher 3, but that was another game that kind of like helped propel my stream a bit more. Like the side quests matter. Like there's like content in there. There's like some really good performances from characters in there. It's like it's solid.
Okay. All right.
Well,
Yeah.
my biggest problem that I run into is, and this is going back to, being the kind of streamer you want to be, people.
Yeah.
As much as I would love to play like PlayStation, because I feel that PlayStation has very good exclusive games, like this game, The Last of Us, and The Last of Us 2. Like I want to play those games, but like I don't own a PlayStation 4 or a PlayStation 3 or whatever, and for me to stream the way that I'd want to on those, I have to have a capture card,
Yeah.
and all that, and I don't want to spend like $800-900 to play like maybe 2 or 3 games a year tops.
Yeah. I was I'm not gonna lie, I was so close to buying, and I am actually still very close to buying a PlayStation for the exclusives. I mean, they know what they're doing.
They know what the hell they're doing.
Like it's not like it's no. I hold no grudge against Xbox. Xbox is a great system, but it's not like it's a Halo or Call of Duty. This game looks amazing. I mean, you got this game. You got what was the other one you were talking about? The one you were talking about, Bearded. Second one's coming out.
Oh, Last of Us.
Last of Us 1. I heard the feels are real. I heard it was amazing. The story was very touching. And number 2 is gonna be.
You have
even
no
better.
idea, bro. You have no idea, bro.
I watched
first 20 minutes. Oh, you did? Okay.
I know. I saw a video on YouTube, people reacting to it, and I was like, I gotta play this game.
Oh, so did you saw people reacting to it? But
I
did
saw
you see
people
what they were reacting to?
Yeah, I saw it. She was
Okay,
like in the
okay.
hospital, right? And then he had to. Was that the part?
Oh, that's a different thing, dude.
Was that? Then I have no
No,
idea
the
what
first part of The Last of Us is like a whole shit. I can't believe they just did that.
Yeah, no, that
cry
was.
my eyes out.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
I'm about to be bitch made for a night. Like,
Yeah.
the feels are real.
But honestly, like I actually am still. I'm kind of maybe. I was thinking about getting a camera for Christmas for my loved ones and family. I think I might get a PlayStation instead.
You
But-
know, yes, I prefer PlayStation over Xbox. I have both though. I do like my Xbox. As streamers, we have plenty of stuff to play. So like at the same time, like there's plenty to play on PC, but there are just a number of games on PlayStation that like I don't know if I could like game as I don't think I would have as much fun if I didn't have them, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
I
And the
think
o-
for me, go ahead.
And
Well,
the
I was
only
just gonna
reason go.
Damn it,
Confused?
G.
So, I'm sorry.
I'm coming to your house. Where you live? Give me your address. All I was gonna say is I don't have PS4.
Mhm.
I really want to play this game,
You're right.
but I'm not gonna buy a PS4 for it.
Yeah.
There's
mean,
no way
But,
around
and
it.
I said that about The Last of Us, and then now there's 2 games that I really want to play
It just keeps adding
on
up,
the
right?
PS4. But
Yeah.
the problem is for me is I have to go above and beyond. Like everyone's like, "Oh, stream to the PSN network," and I'm like, I can't. I want my overlays that I get with Twitch
Yeah.
through OBS,
Mhm.
and I'm not knocking anybody at all that streams directly from their Xbox or their PlayStation 4, but I
I
like
did
the
it for a number of
versatility
years.
of streaming through my PC for OBS.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that would be my only drawback. I obviously want to stream it for the community, but at the same time, it's like, as of right now, you can't really add overlays to your PS4 capture.
You
or PS3
essentially,
capture.
G,
Well,
Have to get it.
yeah, not directly through PS4, but if you do have a game capture card, that's what I do. I use a game capture card.
And then
I
you
just-
Yeah,
kinda,
you would have to do it that way, Glitch, to be able to successfully stream it on your PC and have all your overlays and everything still working.
So it
Yeah.
would pretty much not just be buying the game; it would be a huge investment in some other
Yep.
stuff.
And
But-
that's what's been holding me back.
yeah.
Is
Yeah.
that I'm gonna have to drop at least $800. Actually, probably close to $9 because you got to buy the game too.
Mhm.
Well,
Yep.
so you get the PS4. Depending on what bundle you get, you might get like Destiny 2 PS4 or something, right? Or like an Uncharted PS4. That can be $350 to $400, depending on which one you get. You get the PS4 regular or the Pro or the Slim, and then you get the game capture card, and that's depends on which one you get. Like I think a game capture HDS or 60S is like $150.
Mhm.
So that's not so bad. And then you get the game. So it can get expensive over time for sure, but it just depends on if there are other games on the platform that you really want to play. Like if it's just one game, I wouldn't recommend anybody.
Yeah.
Just like that's just one game.
I will tell myself one day I'm definitely getting another console. Because
Yeah.
I mean, the thing that catches my eye when it comes to PS4, PS3 is their story games are awesome. My PC's for multiplayer games, but the only way I want it is for story games. Man, it looks.
Yeah.
Well,
you have Uncharted, you have like Dissidia coming out soon.
Uncharted looks like awesome. Legacy, right?
Yeah, the Uncharted Legacy and Uncharted 4. And there's also like a new expansion that just dropped for it that I didn't even play yet, but I know is like incredible. You have like Gravity Rush, you have obviously God of War, the Crash. Is Crash Insane trilogy on Xbox?
I don't know. I don't think so.
So like you have the Crash Bandicoot games that like me and my girlfriend were just playing today, and like they've just like remastered that game too. I don't know if you haven't played Crash Bandicoot games, this might be very punishing, but if you have, you're like, I know what this is like. It's very difficult, but it's like very nostalgic, but it's just like they preserved all of the mechanics, but like updated everything else about it. That's like, okay, I see.
Yeah.
Now
I'm gonna tell you right now, BlackOni, I was a Mario fanboy back in the day with the big battle between Mario, Crash Bandicoot, and like Sonic. Like, like I love the Sony's marketing campaign where they'd have like Bandicoot out in front of like Nintendo with like signs being like Mario's an idiot or whatever he'd say. Like that was hilarious. But I'm
He's
always
talking
like, oh
mad
man,
shit.
Mario's better.
Yeah. It's you have Journey. I'm just gonna stop because like there's like I said, only do it if there is a number of games that you really want to get on.
Yeah.
But if it's just one or two.
And what do you think about what caught your eye about Zero Dawn? Out of if you could name top 3 things that caught your eye, that was like this made it a worthwhile experience as a game.
So what I saw of this game was running on a regular PlayStation 4, not a PS4 Pro. And what I was seeing had me in disbelief. I said, there's no way that this is just on a regular PS4 because the system's this old at this point. There's no way. And like lo and behold, that's what it was running on. Like that's what the game looked like. And it just like it blew me away in terms of the visual fidelity that they were able to accomplish on a system that is a closed system. It was the fact that you could move as freely as you could. Like the movement didn't feel limiting or restricting in any way.
Very fluid. Yeah.
Very fluid. And the developers went out of their way to do something different. Guerrilla Games, they did Killzone. And for what it's worth, I enjoy Killzone a lot. I think it's a really fun game. But I didn't need another one anytime soon. And so when I heard that this was coming, I was just like, these are the same guys who did Killzone. They're making an action RPG now?
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, I'm sold. Let's go. Let's do it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, I noticed like they were running through the grass, and I mean everything looked so clean, it's just so detailed, and everything was on point. I mean, I kind of feel like, would you agree, BlackOni, that they actually pushed PlayStation to System 3 to its limits with this game?
Yeah, I have no idea like what else. Like obviously it could have been it's 30 frames per second, so that's the only downside, but you don't feel it as much because they took so much time to make sure the movement in it was fluid. And that's something that you'll notice permeating throughout the entire experience is that it I don't know specifically what they did to do it. Like usually you can tell definitively the difference between 30 frames per second, 60. And they did a really good job of masking it, and I don't know what it is. It just feels like really silky smooth. But yeah, they must have been pushing it to its limit because even many people know Hideo Kojima is my favorite director.
Love.
Yes, he's like Metal Gear is like one of the reasons why I became an artist is because I played Metal Gear and it just changed me.
When Death Strand comes out or whatever that game is,
bro.
If that only comes out on PS4, that would probably be the game to push
I will
to buy a PS4.
I will sell four of my kiddies, 2 out of 4 of my kiddies right now. That game looks phenomenal.
They didn't even show like what the game would be like. They were just
right?
like,
it was a trailer. And we all got hyped on it. I was like,
I'm losing my goddamn mind.
it was a person who made it. It looked amazing. It looked intriguing, very mysterious. And then on top of it, the person who played the guys who plays Hannibal, they're obviously using it as a voice actor and a model. Oh, I love that guy as an actor. He killed it in Hannibal.
The other thing that's kind of like really crazy about that is that they're going to be using the same engine that Guerrilla developed for that game. So like that engine, Decima engine, I'm actually doing a video called Through the Lens where I kind of go into detail about the visual elements. He's collaborating with them to kind of use that engine for Death Stranding and for developing new things for the engine as well. Like they're doing a lot of collaborative stuff. So like this dude his Fox engine was it the Fox engine for Metal Gear Solid 5? I think it was like a modified Fox engine. Like that was incredibly impressive for like someone to be like, hey, I don't mind using a different engine because what I see here is actually even better than what we had. Like that's pretty dope. That's
yeah. I think that's gonna make a lot of people buy places. It's gonna blow. God, man.
Yeah.
We'll see. In the biggest, other than like not being able to fork out the money for like the video card capturing device and all that stuff. And one of my moderators, I used to always go back and forth on this. He called me a PC Master Race snob because I didn't like consoles. And I've noticed that on games such as like GTA 5 for PC, where you're able to have this, role play servers through mods and stuff like that, that is the biggest hindrance for the consoles. Even with Xbox having the ability and allowing some type of modding system into some of their games, you don't get the like all-out access that you do on most, I won't say all, most PC games, because some PC games are like, no, we're not going to allow modding and blah, blah, blah. But I feel like that's why games like Skyrim and PC have been able to sustain and last so long, because
longevity. Modding is a must.
Exactly.
And so I feel like if Sony ever finally opened up and allowed modding in their games, that they would just explode with new people wanting to play it, but they'll never do it. They don't want you to be able to change what they already have,
All right, so we're gonna move on to a game the Bearded Noob has brought to the table. It's called Welcome to Hanwell. Now this is a horror game. Take it away.
Spoopy.
Take it away, Bearded Noob.
You can show the trailer first, and then I'll talk about it.
All right, cool. All right, I'm gonna roll the trailer. I don't know if you guys are watching it off the stream or.
Yeah, I am on Mixer.
All right.
Yeah.
Residents of Hanwell, I have just issued an evacuation order to every single person left inside the city walls. Please make your way towards your nearest city gate. Enforcement representatives are on hand to help anybody in need. The city is now under quarantine and will be locked down at 8 p.m. This is out of my control. The council has fallen. I repeat, the council has fallen.
Yeah, I'm not playing this. I'm not playing this too much. I'm getting stressed out watching it.
Right?
Have you played many scary games on stream?
I think I've played Outlast 1 and 2.
Fuck
And
those
that
games.
was
Nope.
and what was the other one? Not Alien vs Predator, but Alien
Isolation.
I was done. I played for an hour. I was done. I was like, this thing could pretty much predict where I'm going and alter itself and adapt to my gameplay. I'm good.
I'm done.
I'm done.
Yeah, not I got a manly.
Look at this.
Oh, the character just like look that way. Nope.
No.
Going this way. Not doing that.
Yeah, don't you know scary games are good for your heart? That jump works
Yeah.
the heart muscle.
Yeah, just yeah. And it gives you grades too. Oh Lord. Oh Lord, that is way too much. Well, tell us a little about this game, what you know so far, BeardedNoob.
Well, the funny thing about this game is somebody in my Twitter feed sent out a tweet to the trailer for this. It was like, oh my God, October 20th, I'm so hyped. And so I see the trailer, and I'm all like, oh my God, another Outlast clone. Can I at least die in this game, or is it like that crappy game Layer of Fear? And for those of you who don't know, spoiler alert, because Layer of Fear has been out for several years, it's a spoopy game that you can't die in. And I found that out the whole hard way, where I thought I was gonna die, and nothing happened, and I was like, "Are you serious?"
What's the point of being scared anymore?
Yeah, like, what's the point of playing a scary ass first person survival game if I can't be murdered for being stupid? And so the people from the company making this game, Hannibal, actually responded to me, and they're all like, "Hey, thanks for commenting. Like, yes, we share aspects of inherent horror, but it's very different. You know, they said we've got combat, open world, and yes, you can die." And I'm like, oh, well, I'm a little more interested now. I said, my other big question is it full of just jump scares? And they talked
Yeah.
about how they use jump scares sparingly, and they focus more on it being a very creepy, tense, intriguing atmosphere. And that's what I've always found more scary. Like, Alien Isolation for me was more scary when the alien wasn't around. Like, it can jump out and be like, and like bite you through an air vent or some shit. When I just knew it was around, or it was coming for me, that's when I was scared as fuck, you know? And so, like, the only thing that hesitates me about this game is it doesn't look as good as it should be for 2017.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
And so I'm all like, I want to see what the price tag is on. Like, if it's like a $10 or $15 game, I would probably pony up the money and try it out. But if they want like 30, or I'm gonna be like, nah, you know what? Hellblade has kind of set the bar now for a $30 game in my eyes.
Hellblade has definitely set a high bar. Well,
I'm definitely going to be playing that game at some point.
Oh, you would love it, bro. But I think the thing that could actually make it worth that $30 or $35, maybe 40, is a good soundtrack. A good, audio, you know? Kind of like Hellblade had amazing audio, the music, the voices, the whispering. I guess the all over gaming environment, the experience. I think they with a good audio soundtrack, sound effects, I think it hit that $35. You know, but I agree with you visually wise, and I'm gonna comment on what you said earlier. I've seen so many games that specifically rely on jump scares, and after a while, after you're being jump scared 15 times in a row and screaming, you're kind of just like, I'm done with this. You know what I mean? It's not really giving you any substance. It's pretty much boo, 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 and it's like, oh. I mean, if the story's not good, what's the point?
I feel like Resident Evil 7 did a good job of.
Oh my God, that game.
Oh, Resident Evil 7 was amazing.
I can't. I can't even stream that game because it's so damn scary.
Isn't there a DLC coming out for it?
Yep. The Chris. I don't want to.
You could be like the main character.
It has
right?
Chris Redfield in it.
All right, let me tell you a little story about Resident Evil 7. I have a buddy that lives nearby, gets the game, calls me up and is like, "Hey man, I got RE7. You should come play it." I'm like, "Nah, I'm not into scary games." Then he proceeds to tell me that he has his HTC Vive and he wants me to come try it in VR.
Nope.
I played it for 35 minutes, got so scared that I about fell over the cord because the Vive has the cord and all that shit. And like I put it off and I was like, I'm done. And like I was sweating like I stole something. I was like, I can't play this. It's too fucking scary.
No, bro.
Here you go.
I will never ever play VR games, horror VR games in my life. I'm already scared as it is. I don't want to feel like, I don't feel like I'm in the game. I will pass out, man.
I kind of want to experience it, but I kind of don't.
Like you want to experience it. You want to experience it, like to know what it feels like. But sometimes, like, well, do I want to subject myself to that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
If I played it, I wouldn't stream it. I'd lose so many followers. They'd lose all respect for me as I'm crying and messing myself.
Dude, you would probably gain more followers than you would ever lose.
Crawling because they've seen you at your worst.
Yeah.
I mean, you're crawling on the ground. You're screaming. You're
There's
rolling
like a
around.
GIF going around where me going, "Oh shit!" and like running away from my desktop and my headset flying off. I'm sure.
Yeah, I've done that too. I forgot what game I actually ran with from my keyboard. But and another thing I want to point out is where a lot of horror games fail at is they don't, like Outlast, for example. Great game, but they don't let you fight back.
They don't.
Like you just feel so. I don't know if that's what they're trying to make you feel so helpless, but it is actually. I'm not gonna lie, it's frustrating not being able to fight back.
Yeah, because it gets to a point in Outlast. Like I really enjoyed that game, but it does get to a point in Outlast where like you're just waiting for someone to just like walk away.
You're just like,
can I just go to my next thing?
Yeah. They don't give you options. Like, I know in like Resident Evil, there were parts where you could either sneak by or you could fight them.
Yeah.
I think horror games need to give you the chance either to be stealthy or to be aggressive and hopefully not get your arm bitten off. So,
right.
And I mean, handheld looks like
that adds to the scariness too. It's like, oh shit, I'm about to die.
I'm about to die. Like, am I gonna fight this guy? And when you're fighting, I'm clicking every button on my keyboard and my mouse to fight this guy. You know what I mean? That's what it adds to it. And the handheld looks like it could give that to you. You could sneak by, use stealth, or it looks like you can use melee weapons. No guns that I've seen. Yeah. But I mean, I think as of right now, when it comes to horror games, what is everybody's number one horror game in 2017?
GTA RP.
GTA RP.
Taking people to mine in GTA RP, right?
Oh, Lord.
For me, it's Resident Evil 7 for sure. I really enjoyed Outlast 2, especially because like Outlast 1, I have a video on YouTube where like I was a trailer reaction and people like they ate it up, man. I hadn't seen so many people comment on any one of my videos since that's got like 100,000 views or something like that.
Yeah, a reaction. Okay.
But I love Outlast 2, but Resident Evil 7 is much better.
Yeah.
I feel like the first Outlast was way better than the second one. I feel like because the first Outlast was so damn scary that I couldn't get past the first 25 minutes. Like when you first get into the asylum and the dude's like impaled and starts screaming at you, I was done. I couldn't do it. Outlast 2, I got like halfway through the game and I was like, okay, I'm kind of scared, but I know what to expect. I was like, okay, I'm going to get to a point. I'm going to have to do something. Something's going to show up that I can't kill and I'm going to have to run around and hide and to slowly complete my objective. And I'm just like
when you're back into school.
Yeah, and I was just like, it wasn't that good. Like I like to be able to fight. Like it's like you said, Glitch. I want to be able to fight and even, not necessarily kill the thing, but like get it away. And I think that's
like
why
ward them off, like knock them back. You know what I mean?
And I think that's why I liked Alien Isolation so much because you couldn't kill the alien, but you could like, if you had like a blowtorch, you could like put fire on it, or you could fight back. But in Outlast, man, you get caught, you're shit out of luck. You're done.
I played Alien Isolation for maybe 2 hours and I was done. I was like, I can't do this. My heart can't take it. because I've never played a game that adapts to your play style. Like I'm like my community was like, oh yeah, GG. It was Sushi, one of my moms. Yeah, play Alien Isolation. I'm playing it. She's like, by the way, the alien can adapt to your play style. And I'm like, wait, why didn't you tell me this before I spent money on it? You know? Now that money's down the drain because I will never touch it. I actually install it. I install it. I'm not doing it. All right. All right. So all right. So let's move on to that. We're gonna jump into a really cool topic I want to talk about. I think BlackOni can relate to this more than any of us because he is actually a creative streamer and he plays a variety of other games. So I want to discuss about the decline or recline in the creative section. I've noticed Twitch isn't pushing it. I came by a fellow content creator. Her name is Suchiki. I can't pronounce the name. She's a leather worker, and she was actually talking about. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah,
I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
because I got for the column. There might be something that I do with her.
Yeah,
is her name really Suchiki?
I let me find her name because
damn it, G.
No, she's gonna hate me forever. Man. She's gonna hate me forever. Like, what you call my name? But no, but she was actually I was in there and she was leather working. Her name is Suchi. That's right. But it's like Suchuki. I'm gonna call her Suchi for short because that's what it has on Twitter. I can't pronounce her whole name, but she was actually talking about how there a lot of creative streamers are having to leave, or I guess not leave the creative community, but play other games. Leave the section to kind of make up the difference for the decrease in their income or their subs or their bits or the donations, not being able to sustain themselves via Twitch with that kind of category. Have you noticed that in the community?
Yeah, while I was streaming creative one day, someone came in there and said, "Why are you on creative? Why aren't you on IRL?" And I was like, "Because I'm doing something creative." And they were just like, "Yo, dude, creative's been dead for fucking ages." And I'm like, "You're not wrong." But I was doing my part in trying to keep creative alive, at least in some part. But I'm not going to disrespect Twitch. I think Twitch is a great platform to help and kind of continuing to elevate and grow as a person and as a content creator. But they kind of like have their creative thing with the Bob Ross reruns, and that was cool for a time. But I think people started going to Twitch creative for the Bob Ross reruns, not for the creative streamers. And I think that's a part where they kind of like screw that up a little bit. But I don't know. They haven't really been doing much to help. So for context with people, I applied for Twitch partnership a number of times before the affiliate thing even became a thing. I haven't applied again now, but I was applying as a creative streamer, and there were a number of different stipulations and reasons why people on the team said I couldn't get a partnership through them, even though I was streaming creative quite often. I was doing creative, I was doing gaming, I was doing a number of different.
Yeah.
They just, I don't know. It was just, for me, it felt like they didn't care that much about the community. I know there were people at Twitch who cared. Like, I'm not going to pretend like they weren't, but as like an overall ecosystem, I don't think it did enough for people like myself and people like many other people.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Do you feel like I wouldn't say Twitch let the creative streamers down, but do you feel like Twitch owed it? Because as of right now, everybody knows you think of Twitch, you think of gaming. You know what I mean? Yeah. Nobody's like says Twitch is like, oh, painting, piano, dancing, acting. Yeah. Nobody thinks of like that. Do you think Twitch isn't, I guess, or Amazon isn't pushing anymore because it doesn't bring that much revenue in? Is it not? Because I mean, truth be told, what's bringing them money is games. Because now on Twitch you can buy games. You can literally click and buy the game from the market right under the stream that the streamer's streaming. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you got to think about it. Does watching creative or coming to Twitch and watching creative, does that really make it able to transition that viewer over to gaming? You know what I mean? Because that's a very small niche, creative,
Yeah, compared to like all the other, because like creative is just like, basically think of creative as just one game. That's basically what it is. It's like, that's what they're creating it as. So there's no painting category. There's no graphic design or logo work or leather work. It's creative. and that's it. And even then, like PUBG alone will bring in way more viewers than creative as an entire genre will. So I don't know. It's one of those things. I mean, I wonder sometimes if it would be better if there were more people watching creative on the platform or not. But like, it works for me because I do both anyway. But there are a lot of people who only do creative. And
well, coming from the perspective of somebody who's on the outside of the whole creative thing, because I don't have much creative talent in like my hands and such. Mine's all in my brain, and it never translates. It never translates well to my hand. Like I have all these ideas for drawings and paintings, but I don't have the skill set to be able to, articulate it onto paper or whatever, or digitally. But I feel like maybe the reason people are going to IRL is because A, it's the new hotness, it's the new quote unquote thing to do, and then B, because there's more freedom as long as in IRL you are the center of the stream,
That's true.
And whereas in creative you have to be, quote unquote creating something as like for example, some type of art or music or something like that. I mean, hell, in creative was where I found this guy called the 8-Bit Drummer. If you guys do not know this dude, he does like retro style music on his drum set. Fantastic. Like, I just go in there sometimes, I'll put a stream on while I'm like cleaning the house, and I'll start hearing like, Contra, him drumming the beat to it. I'm all like, oh, it's cool, I'm into this game.
Right? That's cool.
So that's why I think it's been this big shift to IRL, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, but when as a creative, when you go to IRL, you get lost in that sea of just weirdness,
Yeah.
I mean, IRL, if you're, I think everybody here has at some point gone to IRL, especially when it first came out. I'm not gonna lie, I went to IRL and I saw some stuff that I cannot unsee. And I'm not proud of it either. You know what I mean? It's just like if you, as a creative, you go to IRL. People that go to IRL go there for a very specific reason. To watch some weird stuff,
Yeah.
And if they come by your stream and they're like, I'm ready to do it. It's a Friday night. It's dark out. My windows are closed. My windows are shut. My doors are locked. I'm about to watch some weird stuff.
Candles lit.
I got my candles lit. I got my wine. I'm about to watch some weird stuff. And it's like, if you were looking for some weird stuff, and you kind of come by a painting stream, are you like really gonna go in there? You know what I mean? Like that's for instance, like just having like somebody like BlackOni. He's doing his art for his comic book. And he's in a section along with Pug or other games. It kind of doesn't really translate well. You know what I mean? And I feel like Twitch or any other streaming platform that has a creative section needs to put an emphasis on that community, because this is a very invaluable community. I mean, creatives are like, I'm just here playing some games, talking in weird voices, having some fun. But they're here drawing. I mean, amazing artists, amazing art, which I could never even be, able to dream about doing one day. I think that's invaluable for Twitch, and I think they need to put more purpose back onto it and put it on the front page, put it out there on your ad campaign and your blog and on your whatever channel you have, because I think that's invaluable right there, because that translates to caring.
Let me ask any of you guys this. I'm notoriously guilty for usually only watching the people that I follow. I don't actively go out seeking, new people in different categories. How hard would it be, say, BlackOni, to go into the creative tab and say find somebody who's doing like say woodworking? Like, is it an easy thing to do, or would you have to scroll through all of it kind of stuff?
Well, let's find out right now.
You have to scroll through all of it, or be on Twitter and look and type it in and see what comes up. Because as far as I know, there's no way to. Yeah.
Well, sorry. The reason that I say that is because I feel like if Twitch implemented some type of subcategory genre set where, like, I know that you can put yourself into different streaming groups, you can have 3 streaming groups, whatever, communities, yeah. But I don't feel like that's deep enough. Like, I feel like if I went into, say, creative stream and I wanted to watch somebody doing anime style art comic, panel drawing, I feel like I should be able to go creative and then maybe do comma art anime, and it'd pop up only for those people. And I think that would really help you be able to look for a specific thing.
I think that's a really
That's a good idea, but at the same time, is when a lot of people go creative, like me myself, I'm not really versed in art. I don't know all the terms. So if I'm going to creative, I'm just looking for a chill stream to listen to some music, watch somebody draw. Like that's how I found BlackOni and stuff like that. And honestly, I feel like if they section everybody off in their own little subcategories, it's going to be that much harder to find.
No, I don't
somebody,
think you should be subbed off. I think that you should be able to look,
search them,
like those community things. I think that those should help to target what you're looking for.
I think communities was pointless.
Specific.
I think communities was
pointless. They really are. They don't.
It was
do
so
anything.
pointless.
The problem is though is that more people want to come watch the people on a date with a mannequin in the park instead of watching somebody actually draw something cool.
Because people are all about that what the fuck shock culture value. That's what it is.
Accent there for a minute. Shock treatment.
Shock.
BlackOni, you need to have your mannequin girlfriend sit behind you while you're drawing.
You know what? You're onto something there.
I want half your sub money.
Yeah. Just have her creeping in the background. It's like,
but the reason I say that because I think they need to put more emphasis. Because I mean, look at this one right. This one is called the actual dipod. Whenever, like this guy right now is watch the advertising first.
Be careful what you click on, G.
No, we're good. We're good.
It's something weird, man.
Well, there goes the stream, guys.
Almost.
Rip. Well, there you guys. I'll see you guys never. No, but just kind of as an example, and wait till it. I kind of just want to touch on why I think it's good for Twitch or any platform to really push creative, because a lot of these people in here actually make either voiceovers or do some type of thing that actually attributes to games, and now a lot of people know that. Like this one right here.
Draga meets his greatest foe, the man from Krypton.
He's doing voiceovers. But just like this 8-bit art, you know what I mean? Like this could go to like a phenomenal game that's coming out. This could give this guy amazing exposure to make this game
development.
Like a lot of people do game development. I saw some guy literally making a whole game. It was like
what
battle.
SOS has actually been doing. The SOS game. Like they've been working on assets and bits and parts of it like while they stream. I'm like, oh, this is cool.
Mm-hmm. And that gives them exposure about the game and lets people, I guess, appreciate the hard work that goes behind it. So I personally think Twitch needs to, buckle down and push that, because I think that'd be a great asset. Not lose it. And it sucks to see a lot of people leaving. A lot of people are like, I can't support myself anymore doing this. I'm like, I heard people like, there's no point to even stream this anymore. I'm just like, dang,
Yeah. I mean, again, another part of it is just how they kind of, like, if they wanted something to be successful, they need to make sure that the people putting the work towards that were getting either feedback or getting coaching or getting something in return for what they're doing. Because like, if you really want to see something grow, you have to nurture it. You have to put energy into ensuring that it's successful.
Yep.
And if, someone like me, for example, who like applied 3 times for partnership for creative and was told something different each time, and there was always like a new excuse as to why they couldn't do it, then it was just like, why even bother at this point if they don't really want me?
See, and I think that's so weird, because I probably know a handful of people right now that have less than 3,000 followers and are all partnered, and it's because they were in creative.
Oh, bro, that's another thing I want to talk about. I want to talk about people abusing the guidelines to get partnered via creative. I know so many streamers. Well, I can't say I know so many streamers, but I've heard about a lot of streamers using the creative category to propel themselves to partnership and then switching to games right after.
Yeah, I've heard about it too. Which sucks, because that means that they're going to be less likely to offer that partnership to somebody who like genuinely is going to be using both. And
for creative, yeah.
Well, and I will come to the defense of the few people that I know that have less than like 3K followers and are partnered because of creative. Like if I go into their channel on a every other day basis, at least, they're usually doing something creative. Like they're still in the creative tab, doing their thing. And like I've asked myself, I was like, how did this person get partnered? Like when I'll meet them on a role play server or something. And they're like, oh, they're an actual creative streamer. And then I'll follow it with, well, why are they playing this game? Like, why are they? you know, why aren't they off like creating some magical yarn knitted hat or something, or whatever they make? I don't know.
Magical?
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean,
It's magical, okay.
And you know, for someone like me, like if you ask me that question, it's like sometimes I like to play games, so I'll play
Yeah.
games instead of
I mean,
doing
that's a valid
creative.
point, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
No, and I totally agree. Like, you can't obviously like just like I can't play the same game every day. Just like creators want to play some games too. It is Twitch, but what I'm
Yeah.
saying is there would be people who literally just did it because people. I saw on Reddit, I saw everywhere. People trying to get partnered. Switch your category to creative. You know, apply as creative, and you'll get accepted easier. I'm talking about the people who literally just set themselves as creative, made some puzzles for a week or so, and then applied for partner, and then just literally left creative, left the community. And,
Yeah.
you know, that's a spit in the face to creatives. You know what I mean?
And I think that's a problem why maybe people like BlackOni have had such trouble getting partnered for being an actual
Mm-hmm.
creative streamer, is because that service was abused.
yeah,
That sucks. Ruin it for everybody.
yeah.
But, you know, we can hope. I think the best thing to do in this instance is, you know, do our best to kind of promote creatives. You know what I mean? Like, I want to do my best. Like, that's one reason why I wanted you to have you on BlackOni. You have your own podcast, you're versed, you're well spoken, and you're creative. And there's so many different parts of Twitch, not just gamers, you know, that I feel like need exposure. And I think as gamers, as we share this platform with creatives and gamers, we need to uplift each other rather than look at each other like competition. Like, oh, that BlackOni guy, I don't want to have him on the podcast or talk to him because he might take all my viewers. Like,
Fuck
no,
that guy.
fuck that guy. You know, like we need to lift each other up because that makes a better community. You know what I mean?
I will
Especially
never
creators.
understand why people have ever had that mentality.
Bro.
because you
Like,
took thunder from me.
Well, I'll tell you what, we'll make you White Lightning. How about that?
That's right, man. We're going to partnership.
Yeah, a social eater. So let's move on. Let's talk about this. Is something really cool, and I honestly didn't. I saw this going around on Twitter. You know, Animation, a bunch of other big streamers were talking to the FTC on Twitter about the new guidelines that they put out. And I feel like Bearded Noob knows a lot more about this than I do because I'm not well versed in this, and I was actually wondering the same thing about this. But can you give us a little synopsis of what's going on with the FTC along with this whole hashtag ad, hashtag sponsor phenomenon going around Twitter?
Well, from the gist of what I know, by going on to the consumer.ftc.gov website type thing and trying to discern what the heck they're talking about, essentially for their new guidelines state that if you are on any type of social media,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's Twitter or Snapchat or Facebook or whatever, if you are talking about a game or a device or an item that you were given by some type of company, you have to drop the hashtag ad or some type of thing saying that it's a sponsored, you know, tweet or snap or Facebook, whatever, live. You have to say that this is in some form or way an ad, because essentially you were given a product and you're talking about said product, and so you have to tell people, hey, this isn't just me saying, you know, I got Ark Survival Evolved for free with all of the DLC. And I mean, like, for the most part, I've always done that, but the thing that I found ludicrous that I've been seeing is that you're supposed to do it every time, apparently, I guess. And I'm just like, I don't.
Yeah,
why?
it's just gonna look cheesy when you just have to do it every time. Like ad, haha. All right, like you already said that 12 times. Like,
I mean, I saw it get so crazy that Bike Man actually tweeted out at like several developers, hey, from here on out, have me buy your games. I don't want to do hashtag ad.
I mean, it takes away from your Twitter allotment, your allotment of words. So
yeah, well, I could see that, yeah. But honestly, I feel like it adds to transparency, and I think a lot of content creators don't say, "Oh, I got this game for free," you know, because I don't know why, but some people feel like if they say they got a game for free, they're either moochers or they're hashtag sellout. We all heard that hashtag sellout, you know. And I think that's why a lot of content creators don't want to say, "Oh, I got this game free," you know, or they gave me a code because they want me to stream it. But you know, I maybe they could do it differently, but at the same time, I think it's good for people to be like, all right, guys, we're gonna play Escape from Tarkov or Cuphead, hashtag ad, hashtag sponsored. that shows acknowledgement to the dev companies. Because as of
Yeah.
right now, nobody knows that, say for instance, BlackOni or BeardedNoob or Confused, that is playing this game via the generosity of the company. And some people are thinking, well, why does it even matter if they know, that we gave them the game or the dev company gave the game? Because it's good. Like what I've seen lately is a lot of dev companies are realizing the impact of influencers and content creators. And they're actually fostering these relationships that are amazing between both communities. So I think to shout out a dev company for giving me Cuphead or Escape from Tarkov or any game for instance for free, I think it's a must, because it shows some homage to them rather than time to play Cuphead. And then the dev's like, they're like, well, nope, Cuphead, I think it's good, I think they need to clean up the guidelines, but at the same time, I think it's good. But I can see how it could be a headache though.
Yeah, I mean, it's only, for me, it's not a huge deal, but it is kind of annoying to know that, like, if you don't do it every time, then you are subject to whatever punishment they're going to decide to give you.
Like you forget one day,
yeah. Like I think there's going to be honest situations where you're just so used to doing things in a particular way, you just be like, yo, like I already told you guys, this company sent me this dope ass product. I like it. The only reason why I reached out to them or they reached out to me is because we aligned with what we were doing. And obviously there are going to be people out there who are just going to try to take advantage of any situation. So even if they don't like a game, they'll be like, oh, this game's amazing, blah, blah, blah. And then you find out that they got paid to say it's amazing when they really didn't feel that way.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm with you on that too. It's like there are people who definitely kind of they kind of take advantage of that, of the build of their impact in gaming or in the media in general.
Yeah. And maybe some content creators fear that them saying this is ad or sponsored makes them look like they're fake, because if a company sponsors you to play the game or gave you a free game, you might be biased towards it. You might be put on a front. So
and that is totally a thing too. Yeah,
that it totally is. I've seen some people stream some games and like, this dude is not having fun, and I know it.
Right. Right.
We've all seen those games. Like, how are you having fun in this?
That's you watching me every night, dude.
Well, and here's
by
the thing
GTA.
on my perspective. Like, I subscribe to like Keymailer, and I'm on Reverb Games like lists and stuff like that.
Me too.
And anytime that they ask me to review a game and they say, hey, just make sure you know that I have a link to your playthrough or whatever, I don't sugarcoat a game. Like if there's things that I don't like about the game, I won't be like, oh, this is a piece of shit.
Yeah.
I'll be like, yeah, it's still an alpha. This needs to be worked on. Like I will never be one of those glowing review kind of people. Like, oh, this is such a great game. No, I don't do that. I give it the way that I see it for the game.
If your game's garbage, it's garbage.
It's garbage. Yeah, I think this is not so much the government wanting to crack down themselves. I think companies are actually pushing for this because it makes sense, because they're technically losing money on no returns. You know what I mean? Not saying no one's going to buy the game, but they could be just losing money. You know what I mean?
They could be.
Because maybe by like, somebody saying, oh, this company has to, like Pug, for instance, PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, great example. They care about the community. They care about content creators, as far as I know, and they interact with the community and viewers and content creators alike. You know what I mean? Showing that and kind of showing that connection, and that company is willing to go the extra mile, can do wonders for a business. So I definitely understand how having a hashtag ad or sponsor, how many times you have to do it, unfortunately. Obviously, they clean that up is a good thing for the company's PR perspective. Yeah, I think companies are actually pushing. Makes sense. It's a headache, but it makes sense.
And I mean, it's needed, and I think because of that whole fiasco with like Trey Martin and Pro Syndicate with the CS:GO crap, that it would definitely help. But I feel like it's not enough for some things, but then it's too much for how often you have to do it.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
And they got to find a middle ground. I think right now they're kind of just giving you a blanket statement, blanket just generalization, so they have everything covered, rather than saying you got to do this and then something else pops up. Oh, you got to do this too. So, yeah, I got you.
I'll like anything if you pay me enough.
There you go. There you have it, Debs. Hit them up.
Come on, sponsors, give me that money.
Give me all.
So I have too much. Just not even like what's the word I'm looking for? Integrity. It's just, if a game's gonna be shitty, you can't pay me enough to put on a shit-eating
principles.
grin. Yeah.
That's what we were talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
oh, this is great. This is a really
This
great
is
game.
exciting.
This is the best.
Thanks for
Oh,
giving me the
Lord.
money. I love this game.
Thanks
This
for the-
game is amazing.
Oh, amazing. All right, so let's move on to something I kind of want to touch on. As a lot of you guys know, I currently moved to Mixer. If you didn't know, now you know. I know some people are like, Trader. It just feels like a better fit. But not to go on about that, I want to talk about a really cool, I guess you say, feature that Mixer has. And I'm hoping maybe, who knows, Twitch might integrate it one day, maybe some other streaming service, or regardless, somebody brings it up. It is called Faster Than Light. I want to generalize this as a platform. So what it does, I'm looking at the block. I'll pretty much roll this through. What it does, I'm gonna bring this up right here. What it does is pretty much, it just makes it so that, because as of right now, everybody's watching Twitch. There's a 5-second delay. You know, everybody's used to that. It gives you time to reply to chat, vice versa. There are some instances where it's kind of a hindrance rather than, you know, a pro is more like a con. So Mixer has made this fast and light. Right now it's in beta, and this is for mobile. I currently have it on mobile. So it's pretty much saying, hey, you know what I mean? It's instantaneous interaction. That's what they're trying to bridge that gap. That's what they're marketing here. Once like BlackOni's streaming, whatever he's playing, I say, hey, he can literally see it that second I press enter. I don't want to get down to the map, but pretty soon that second I press enter, and he can interact with it that back and forth. So it creates a constant, you know, avenue of interaction between BlackOni, and I guess it makes you feel more there with the streamer. You know what I mean? Because you can have a straight up full conversation just going like this back and forth like a ping pong ball, and that's what they're pushing on that.
I have a question.
Mhm.
How is moderation done? Like somebody can literally come in immediately and say, you know, duty, PP, all that kind of all the bad stuff.
Mm-hmm.
How does
Well,
that?
It works the same way. If you come in, I actually had to do it last night. Somebody kept talking about poop for some weird reason. I don't know.
It was me, man. It was me.
Was that you? No, they
was
just
me.
like it was one person talking about poop and another person talking about poop, and I was like, bro, stop talking about poop, and they all started talking poop, and I timed somebody out. It was poopception, and I banned somebody. But same thing, man. Somebody comes and says something dumb. Obviously, they can do a lot faster. Like you can do some pretty good spam off real time. Not gonna lie.
Right.
But the mods are gonna catch you in real time, so nothing really changes, you know.
Because now you can have the mods see it a little bit earlier, a little bit sooner than
Yeah,
when it gets on chat, right?
yeah.
That's all I'm worried about. It's just poop and pee.
Yeah.
All over my chat.
But so what I want to project to you guys is, how do you guys feel about it? Do you feel like this is a pro, or is it like, you know what, it's just another feature? It's not really going to impact streaming. Or do you feel like more streaming sites should take this avenue and make it so there's less of a delay?
Well, I think. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Anybody go for it?
Go ahead.
Okay. I feel like coming from the perspective of, I would need to know the server size of how many people are actually on Mixer versus, say, Twitch, because I feel like there's 10,000 partnered streamers on Twitch and countless of probably hundreds, if not a million plus people that stream on Twitch on a daily basis. Like, maybe the reason Twitch hasn't implemented some kind of system like this is because I feel like it would require primo, like top of the line server quality to be able to do that. And I feel like maybe Mixer is able to do that because it has a smaller streaming base. Like I would almost want to see what the streaming, daily numbers are for Mixer compared to Twitch, and then like see how this would work on Twitch with, anybody trying to do it, because it's kind of like I think about it like the alert systems. Like I remember everyone was like, oh, Muxie's a great alert system. It just came out, and I'm like, how many people are using it if it just came out? Probably nobody. That's probably why the alerts are working so well, because you don't have 10,000 people on a daily basis using the same alert system.
Yeah.
And so I that's where I kind of like. I mean, the feature sounds awesome.
Yeah.
And I like that, instant gratification of like when somebody says something in my chat, I'm immediately saying, oh yeah, hey, what's up there, blah, blah, blah. And they're getting it right away. But at the same time, like, I don't know.
It's cool because I've got a long. I don't know how to do what I'm doing. I've got a long delay,
Yeah.
but it's cool. But it's not gonna. I'm not gonna see that and be like, oh, screw you, Twitch. I'm going to Mixer. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Well, I'm not
I
really,
think
I'm not really touching on like, hey, you know, I'm trying to convert you guys to Mixer. I'm just talking
No,
about,
no, I know.
I'm
I'm
just
just
talking
saying.
about the function. That's it. That's
Yeah.
it.
I know. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
man. Wink, wink.
Wink, 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 wink. I got you. Wink, wink. Black
I
Oni.
I really think I would go as far as to say it is a game changer.
Mhm.
Um, Mainly because there are times when people want to have a more fluid experience and conversation with the streamer, and Twitch just legit just doesn't allow it. It's not like a thing that can happen on the platform at all. Um, I think I don't think it's a feature that some people will gravitate towards the other platform for, but
Yeah.
I think that as a piece of that puzzle,
Mhm.
it adds to it. So
Oh yeah.
I'll give the example of how easy Mixer makes it to collaborate with. Say, for
Mhm.
example,
Oh
I don't
yeah.
actually know if it works 4 ways.
It does. It
as-
works 4 ways. Co-stream. Yep.
Yeah. Say, for example, we're all playing Destiny, and we're going at. We're like, all right, I want us to all play this at the same time and be on one actual thing. So what they'll do is they will take on Twitch. We can use like multi-stream, and everybody can be
Mhm.
watching multi-stream and watching all 4 people and switch tabs for the chat and blah 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 yada yada. And it's like it's fine. They use a separate third-party app to do that. Whatever.
Yeah.
With Mixer, they have an integrated system that allows you to collaborate with people in a much simpler way. So it combines all 4 streams into one.
Yeah.
And the chat is shared between all the people.
That is dope. I saw that. And keep in mind, guys, I don't want anybody like come to my house and try to beat me up wearing a Twitch shirt or a Mixer shirt. This isn't trying to sway anybody's opinion. This is just pretty much just, you know, I feel like we're all content creators, whether what platform we're on. Obviously, some communities fit for better, but I feel like we all share the love of streaming and interacting with our audiences and community, and that's what this is about. But I feel like Twitch could learn some stuff from Mixer, and Mixer could learn some stuff from Twitch. You know what I mean? No platform is perfect, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm not
No,
gonna.
definitely. There is
Yeah,
always room for improvement.
yeah. But the co-stream thing is dope. Not gonna lie. And then to add one more thing in there. I'm not trying to put salt in the wound, but down below they have integrated soundboards. So as a viewer, I can pretty much just come in and click. You get these like bolts, I want to call them. And as the more you watch streams, the more you can use these like soundboards. And I think every caster has their own little soundboard they can kind of like alter and do some stuff with. You can interact with it. But what Mixer's trying to do is trying to make it so it's more the focus on interacting. Interacting is the key. You know what I mean? Kind of like what SOS is doing. Have you guys seen that? SOS with the whole little Hero TV, we can like spam those emojis and stuff. Kind of like that. So, but hey, Twitch is definitely killing with their extensions too. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, their extensions are they're killing.
Well, and that's the thing. This is probably the reason why I've been pulling more and more away from YouTube, because for the most part, Twitch and Mixer, from what I've seen, they're not very like transparent of what they're doing, but they're not afraid to let you know little by little. I haven't been much into the Mixer scene, so I can't speak for Mixer. But like every time Twitch has been like, hey, we got this new program, we're gonna roll it out with our partners first, and if it works well with some of them, then we're gonna release it to all streamers. Or when they started with the affiliate thing, like I feel like that's why YouTube, in my opinion, is so just kind of is because nobody knows the algorithm that you're supposed to have to make sure you can get your videos monetized.
Yeah.
You have people that have been constantly trying to figure out what they can do to be like, say, a Let's Play streamer and still make money. And YouTube just doesn't tell you. Like, until they get caught with something wrong, then they're like, oh, yeah, it's supposed to be like this. Well, it's because we found out. And I feel like Twitch and, from what I've seen of Mixer, at least are trying to be like, these are the things we're offering, which is why I don't knock people who are on Mixer. I mean, more power to you. If you go to Mixer and that's where you find your community, so be it. I would still gladly play and even find some way to co-stream with somebody who's on Mixer with me being on Twitch. It's just I know so many people who are on Twitch that it's the people that I love to hang out with, whether it be in
Oh
game
yeah.
or in
Oh yeah.
Discord, and so
Don't get
forth.
me don't get me wrong. I feel so torn. I battle with it every day. I feel so torn like leaving Twitch because
And you shouldn't, man.
I met you guys, and honestly, I consider you guys my friends. You guys are amazing people. And it's just like, well, I'm going to another platform, and some people view that as, well, he's leaving us, but it's like, I'm still here, man. But there's so many variables and things, and I'm gonna say this. This is my disclaimer. Everybody in chat or people on the podcast is like, there are pros and cons to every platform. Some fit different lifestyles than others. Some fit different, I guess you would say, different must-haves than others, because each platform has their pros and cons. That's the best way I could say.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I have to say, G, that like when you first said something, I was like, "Oh man, G's leaving me, man." And I remember, like, I didn't meet you through Twitch. I met you through
Mhm.
the game.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I can still probably play video games with him, right?"
Mhm. Yeah, you could.
I mean, so
I'm not dead. I'm still here. We will still play games. I'll still be on the same servers. The only difference is I will be streaming throughout the week on Mixer, but the podcast will be every single Sunday on both platforms. So, you know what I mean? I know some people are like, I'm like, oh shoot, are people going to back out of the podcast? And I was like, I'm just going to co-stream it. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
even if you went to just straight Mixer with the podcast, I'd still show up. I mean, hell, on my Discord, I tweeted out your Mixer link.
Mm-hmm.
And
you,
I
man. I
mean,
appreciate
I
that.
still hosted you on Twitch.
Yeah, I
but
saw that. Yeah. But no, the thing is, I understand where it comes from, and it's like, I still love the Twitch community, so it's like, why not podcast on both platforms? But
well,
yeah.
I mean, and the other big thing to think about is it's still a form of networking.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's another thing that I don't understand. Why, like, the smaller Twitch streamers that don't do that, because like we're actually, if you think about it, all four of us are in like this. We're in this bubble where we're not a small streamer anymore,
Mm-hmm.
but we're not a big streamer.
Yep.
We're like a little big streamer.
We're in limbo
And like
right
some
now.
of us are like a bigger little streamer, and then
Mhm.
some of us are like a little bigger streamer. And
Yeah, we're still little. Yeah.
yeah, and so you still have to network. I mean, the first game that I ever played on stream was Arma 3, and I networked into a clan, and from that networking, I started meeting other streamers,
Mm-hmm.
and then I hit like a plateau of someone saying, "Hey, if you want to get anywhere in your streaming community or in your streaming career, you're gonna need to leave this game because this game is very dead because nobody cares about Arma 3 anymore." And so like. And that's what I did, and like I met other people and met their networks and kind of like went into the fold of their network. And I mean, even like, Glitch, with you going to Mixer, even if you decide to make that jump, could be nothing but Mixer.
Mhm.
If I might get to meet people that through Mixer. And I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's all about networking.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I don't
Yep.
shit on anybody for going to either
Yeah.
YouTube or Mixer, or even Hitbox. That's where you go. That's where you go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, and it's I the pros is I get to meet some amazing people, But one thing I've noticed is, yes, Mixer is a small community, but at the same time is, I guess the pro of that is Mixer replies back via email if you ask them a question or you have support. That is the pros of having this currently small. I won't say even small, but it's growing. Currently small streaming community. Who knows if they'll do it when they get big? But who knows? Who knows if it'll last? I just viewed this. Some people are like, well, Mixer might die one day. I think everybody's thinking about the same thing. I viewed this as my journey. And if my journey ends up in the gutter, I guess, which I'll never do. That's scary. Why did I say that? But, it's like, I view this as my journey. And my goal, my end game, we were all talking before we went live, is my end game is to be a host, to be a podcast host, to be, who knows, a shoutcaster. I like entertaining and I like talking. So that's my goal. Not just streaming games, but, it's just the path I want to take. But I do have a question to ask you guys before we get off topic is, as content creators, what is your ideal platform? What do you feel like content creators and viewers need? And we're not just talking about, we don't have to bring up names, Twitch, Mixer, Hitbox, but if you could make your own conglomerate of one day called BlackOni streams, or, just something random, what would your perfect platform be? What features would you want for the streamers, for the viewers? What would you like? What would you not like?
I feel like emotes, for example, are a big part of it. I think people love the emotes, being able to use those globally or whatever. I feel like my perfect platform wouldn't limit my number of emotes the way that Twitch has as an affiliate. Don't get me wrong, I'm thankful that we have any at all. Like emotes are a really huge part of brand presence online on a platform like this, but telling someone they have to spend $10 for a second emote at all is kind of
but that's the lure, though. You know what I
frustrating.
mean? That's the lure.
Yeah.
That's how they get you.
I more wish that like the affiliates would just say have had everything halved for emotes. Like because what is it? You get, is it 4 when you first get partnered? It's like 4 or 5. I can't remember. I felt like if you could have had 2 as an affiliate, because that would have allowed you to have like, you know, your general one, maybe like you go and then like maybe a hype one or something, you know. And I completely agree. I felt bad for one of my followers when he dropped a tier 3 sub on me. I was like, dude, what are you doing? He's all like, well, I think you deserve it. I'm all like, okay.
So much money.
I'm like, that's like $25 a month, dude.
Yeah. And
it's appreciated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
No, it is always appreciated, but never required. So, I feel like, go ahead.
No, continue.
I was just going to say that I feel like for me, I don't feel that there will ever be a perfect platform, because there is always going to be people that are going to try to undermine the system to, you know, one up it to get what they want to get things done quicker. But I would like accountability, communication, and just an overall sense of like camaraderie amongst fellow streamers, because I can't stand when like I hear these like smear campaigns against a streamer from another streamer because some shit that was said in somebody else's stream. You know, like I've told a multitude of like, okay, I'm gonna use a prime example here, Glitch. When me and you were beefing in RP First and roleplay between Becky and G Wilson, I had several of my followers be like, "Oh fuck that motherfucker." I said, "Hey, calm down." I said, "You need to realize that G Wilson is a character. This is not Glitch." I'm like, "This is all roleplay." And this is one of the crazy things, BlackOni, is roleplay. Your followers get very defensive and very angry. And I've told several of my followers, I was like, if I hear about any of you going into somebody else's channel and starting shit with them, I will ban you in a heartbeat from this channel and not think twice. And I've never done it, but I've seen people get emotionally destroyed because some shit happened. And this streamer goes, go over to their channel and fucking tell them that they're a whore or this or that.
It's not even. It's not even that they tell them. It's just so much they know what's happening. They let it happen,
and they don't care. I'm like.
But okay, this was sorry to interrupt. This is my perfect stream platform where we're all held accountable. You know what I mean? And I think some people are gonna be like, gee, but why? But the thing is, like, if you're not doing anything bad, you're not breaking TOS, you're not doing anything crazy on the platform, why care? The thing is, like, that is a perfect example why. And I've seen this rise. I've seen people talk about it on Twitter, content creators on Twitch, talk about hate raids. You heard about those hate raids where people would literally raid somebody else and just spew hate on them? Yeah, and I'm just like,
especially in the IRL category.
I'm just like, and this is encouraged. Like that right there is a no-no. And I think if the potential of getting so big, you kind of lose what your platform means. You know what I mean? Because the numbers matter. And I see this happening with Twitch. Twitch is a great community. I love Twitch. At the same time, I see it happening that Twitch is getting so big that it's kind of losing its core values. You know, because it's blowing up so fast. It's a growing community. It's an amazing community. Amazing people. But it's getting so big that it's losing its core values of community, respect, you know, positivity, you know.
And I think that's part of the problem that, you know, I don't think it's necessarily that Twitch is not trying to take care of all of the problems that are happening. I just don't think that they have the manpower to do it.
Oh, absolutely.
I think like when you say, like, you know, you get somebody in IRL that's doing these like hate raids, it takes days, if not a week to 2 weeks before they finally get shut down. Like I had heard about this dude that would sit there with like 20, 30 people in his channel. And he was making such a name for being a hate raider that a Twitch global moderator started following him around. And then like was watching him in invisible mode, and then he went into some channel and went to raid the person, and the Twitch moderator banned him. And within 20 minutes, new verified email, new account, doing it right again. And
Wow.
and so it sucks.
And that's what I'm
But,
saying. There's got to be a way for Twitch or any platform to police this, because it suppresses and it drives away a lot of female streamers, a lot of male streamers,
A lot of
and
people
a lot of female streamers. I mean, a lot of females are getting a lot of hate lately of just like rude people in general from females and males.
I
And
think
it's like-
honestly, they would have to almost take a stance like Overwatch does, or Blizzard does with Overwatch, where they don't ban you off of your IP, they ban you off of the actual ID numbers on your PC. So you would have to literally remove parts to be able to get back onto their servers. So, like, I think if they did that for Twitch, that would shut a lot of this crap down. I mean, there would be some backlash, but I feel like it would slowly filter out all the stupid shenanigans.
And it's a lot of backlash of people who want to do that anyway. And you don't need those people on your platform. You are Twitch. At this point, you retaining those people who are making your environment toxic is not important.
Yeah.
It's just not.
Yeah. Even facilitating, because Twitch is facilitating it. Any platform that allows, like YouTube, facilitating it. They know it's there. But do they want to do anything about it? No. No, that's what I'm saying.
Well,
Get it so
YouTube's
big.
answer to it is make a crappy algorithm that destroys everybody's ad revenue. And like, I saw the first video ever that has now been completely censored to where you can't get a link to it unless somebody gives you the actual URL. Like, you go to the video, you can't subscribe to the channel, you can't like it, you can't comment on it. There's no suggested videos. And I mean, granted, it's a really messed up video, but I'm just like, and the guy that linked it, he's like, where is this going to end? He said, because, if it starts with videos like this, instead of just outright banning them off the server, because of their hate speech, what's going to say in 5 years, the videos that I make that are very controversial, where I talk about, these like topics, like what's going to happen if they decide to get my channel like this, where no one can see my videos anymore? And I'm just like, wow.
But I also want to play devil's advocate, and I want to project to you guys: does Twitch even owe it, or Mixer, or any platform, YouTube, owe it to us to police this stuff, to make that ecosystem we all want?
I mean, I think they have to, yeah.
Well, this is the best example. Take DayZ standalone as your example. Take a game that has no actual rules, you do whatever you want, and how much of that game is just somebody being an a-hole and shooting you for your stuff. Like, there's never, like, 9 times out of 10, you're more worried that guy's going to shoot you than getting an actual interaction. The only time in DayZ I ever got interactions, which was really rare if I wasn't on an RP server, was if I got to speak first and had some type of a role-play voice. And even then, I still had like a 65, almost 70% chance that I was going to get shot in the face and called some kind of a obscenity and then be like, you RP piece of crap, and then they'd run off, And so, like, you have to have rules, and people have to be there to enforce the rules. Like, so I think of it like an RP server. Like, what's the point of having, guidelines and rules for people to abide by if they're not going to do it? And if they're not going to do it, why aren't you laying down the hammer on them, And I think it's just a numbers game with them right now.
Because I think a lot of people, I don't know if this is true, but what I've heard is a lot of people feel like if you're big enough, you're kind of immune to TOS. But if you're not big enough, it's going to wipe you off the face of the earth,
Yeah.
And I think that's something that any platform needs to make very clear, that we abide by the TOS. You need to, no matter how big and how small you are. I think that's a must, especially if you want to encourage people growing, like Twitch, Mixer, YouTube. They encourage creators to start from the bottom, and we're all inspired by each other. Everybody in this podcast inspires me to be a better creator. And you want to create, you want to build from the bottom, but you can't build from the bottom if they don't have rules and guidelines in place to keep you safe and want to build from the bottom. That's just my thought about it.
I have to say that hate raids are about the stupidest thing I've ever heard of in my entire life.
Great.
Well, and I know
Nobody-
that we don't normally comment on things, but what poor dead man just said about Twitch moderators banning, if he's never seen what happens in a hate raid, you have like anywhere from 20, 30 to 40, 50 people coming into the channel. If you are a small streamer and only have, say, like 2 to 3 moderators in your channel at a time, even if they're banning everybody that says something, all that these people are doing is turning around, making a new Gmail or Hotmail, going right back to being verified, and right into a new account. So it's hard to do. Like I know people who have been rated by 4chan, and their moderators have been like, it was the worst 6 hours of my life, because it doesn't matter how many times you ban, they're coming back. They are ferocious.
I got rated by 4chan when I first started, and I didn't know what was going on. I was like, and I just ignored him. I just sat there and ignored him and just kept playing my game, you know. But I think like any other job, like at my job, if I go to work, my company, my boss owes it to me that I'm not harassed by my fellow employees or harassed by the customers. And I think Twitch as a company that's making money off content creators, because that's what it is. It is what it is. And technically, you're not employees, you're private contractors. That's what we all are. But even still, I think they owe it to us, regardless of what platform you're on, to keep you safe.
Yeah.
Right.
And your
Private
viewers safe.
contractors, yeah, private contractors still have to abide by the rules of the company that they're working for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's stupid.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yep. But, you know, all we got to do is wait and see if it actually comes to fruition, you know. That's what we got to wait on. But, so now I want to open up the floor to questions. We have about, I'd say 15 more minutes left of the podcast. If there's anybody's chat right now that has a question about content creating, what our viewpoints are on a certain game, platform, how we feel about a certain subject, RPD, feel free to ask, and we'll be sure to catch them. And anybody, if BlackOni, you have one, if you have one in anybody's chat, feel free to speak up and ask that question.
Well,
So we'll give you guys. Yep, go for it.
Can I take this moment to plug something about an awareness thing?
Go for it, man.
Okay, so I've seen several people in either your Mixer or your Twitch chat talk about my hair, and I wanted to tell them that this is not actually done because I just like to color my hair. Back in 2013, my wife and I actually lost our son at 21 weeks to a placental abruption, and we found out that amongst the 10 million other things that happened in October, there's a thing called Pregnancy and Infancy Loss Awareness Month. And they have like this little ribbon that's blue and pink. And I felt that ribbon was not big enough. So I decided every year for October to dye my hair blue and pink. So, and every time someone's like, oh, cool hair, it's a nice way for me to not creepily bring up the fact that I lost my son and then talk about something that's meaningful to me. So
I saw it on Twitter. I saw it on Twitter too.
Yeah, and I mean, like, it's one of those things where it sucks, and every year that I get away from it, or further away from the incident, it's easier to deal with it, but I find it easier to talk about it and tell more people about the situation in general, not go into super detail or anything. So,
yeah, that's good, man. You're doing it for a great point, great purpose, and you're raising awareness, man. More people, more people like you. More people like you. But yeah, here's our question, kind of random. It says, what is everybody's thought of League of Legends? You know, I played the LOL. I almost sold my soul to it, but thank God I got out alive, because that game will literally take your life from you.
That game took so much of my money.
But
oh my God, rare trend of your scared. Scared, take my money, take my money.
Yeah, but I would never go back. I would never go back.
Do they have RP servers in that, or
no?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I mean, if they got RP,
I've never played it before.
Be glad you never have. If you have an addictive personality, that game will get you, because you'll be like, oh yeah, you got all these characters that you just unlocked and everything, and they're like, hey, guess what? Now you can buy this skin that looks really cool. You can save up the coins, or you can just pay right now to get it for free.
Right.
Get it for now.
I've never played League, but I've seen enough of it. Like, it doesn't. I like MOBAs, but I like MOBAs that are more intimate, like in terms of like they bring you into the experience, and like the camera's behind you or very close to you. You can like feel like it's more of an action game rather than kind of like I like RTS, but I like RTS for what it is.
Yeah,
I like the concept, behind League of Legends, and I like the way that they executed it. My problem is I have a very addictive personality, and so when I get like that's why I can't play Overwatch or Hearthstone, because you buy these little loot boxes and loot packs, and like I see my eyes light up when they'll bust open and be like, "Oh, legendary!" And I'm like, "Oh my god,
Yeah,
get the money again."
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Alright.
I think the community is very,
Oh,
very.
bro.
It's a bit toxic.
Very aggressive. That's what, very aggressive. Just like CS:GO. Very aggressive. All right.
But then again, you can say that about every community.
Yeah, you can say it.
Yeah.
There's a good part, bad part. I got a question. This was aimed towards me, but I'm gonna project this to everybody in Discord. I mean, in the podcast, is what made you initially choose Twitch for the platform you wanted to start streaming on? And I'm in this boat too because I started on Twitch. What made you initially choose Twitch?
It was the most popular one. I mean, literally.
Mm-hmm.
I
Pretty
didn't know
much.
anything about streaming beforehand, and it was the first thing that popped up. And
Mhm.
my buddy had mentioned Twitch before, so it's like,
All
hey,
right.
all right,
Yeah.
simple, man, simple.
Keep it simple. All right. What about you, BlackOni?
It worked the best at the time. I mean, aside from Hitbox, who had like a, they had like a really, I think they had a similar faster than light situation. But it was better than most of the other options.
All right. What about you, Bearded?
Honestly, for me, I was kind of like how your friend Confused told you, why would anybody watch anybody play video games? Like, I was in that boat. Like, I'm like, I don't want to watch someone play video games. And my brother was like, yeah, dude, just go on Twitch and you'll watch people play in a game and you can actually ask them questions. Because I'd watched people on YouTube. Like, at the time, I was watching Frankie in 1080p.
Mm-hmm.
Some guy named Brad the Gamer, I think, that would do like these in-depth playthrough, 20-minute sessions, walk through kind of game style. And I just happened to go on Twitch and say, "Oh, I could do this," and that's what made me choose Twitch. So I didn't know about Hitbox, and by the time I found out about Hitbox, it had become the place that people go once they're banned off Twitch.
Oh
That's
man,
hilarious.
the graveyard.
Yeah,
But
that's what I've always known Hitbox as now.
But
I'm
yeah.
sure it's got its good people on there though
Yeah,
too.
yeah. Well, I guess in my spot, I chose. I'm right there with Confused. I chose Twitch because I didn't know anything about streaming, and my friends were like, "Hey, you know about Twitch?" And I was like, "I don't know, but I'll look into it." So it was my first choice because it was right there in front of me, you know. But we could all hope maybe one day, competition's good. Hopefully Mixer takes off or Hitbox comes back, or it's good to have competition to make platforms better and for networking communication. Got another random question. Wait, what's the other one? This was I think Bearded. Well, I don't think you hear it. Question is, did you guys kick JT off the podcast? JT was on it one time as a guest. He is more than welcome to come back. He's busy. He has kids and family. Like, what? Oh man,
What is this kids and
what is
family
this kid
speak
stuff
of?
you speak of?
If you play games, you are not allowed to have a life.
And then the cams, yes, that was the end of the plums. But yeah, now that you know more about streaming, what are your thoughts on Mixer? And I could project this to everybody. So I think BlackOni knows, me and BlackOni know the most about Mixer out of this podcast. So somebody asked, now that you know more about streaming, what are your thoughts on Mixer? I like it. It's a new community. It has growing pains like anything else. Mobile app needs improvement. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm tell the truth. There is room for improvement. I like it, and I like it because customer service replies to you. They're here to help you. They're very, very prominent and interactive on Twitter. They make it their goal to interact with their streamers and their viewers alike. They got a weekly show on about upcoming things on Mixer, upcoming streamers on Mixer. They seem to focus a lot on community and promote growing, and they're very positive. I mean, every streamer I come across, like I was on there for like a month watching it, and I was Charleston turned at night. What should I do? And I went pretty much every streamer I came across was like, "Hey, how's it going, man?" A lot of them even looked my account up, even though I didn't say I streamed. They're like, "Hey, you coming to Mixer? You're a streamer?" And I mean, everything's gone great for me. Not saying Twitch is bad because I met some amazing people on Twitch. All these people in front of you, So it's just an opinion. It's just an opinion, What about you, BlackOni?
I think it's a great platform. It's going to continue growing, and I think the outlook is looking great for it.
Mhm.
I think something that did hurt them was what Twitch did, which was in the terms of service for affiliate.
Yeah. Woo.
You can't stream on 2 platforms at the same time.
Uh-huh.
I think Twitch knew
Smart.
/ knows
They
that
knew.
Mixer is a threat to them.
Mm-hmm.
It just sucks for people like us who want to continue to make what we do more sustainable through using both. But
And that's the truth. Like if you're new to streaming, I would honestly say do not tie yourself down to one platform. Honestly, do not do it. Use Restream. You can stream to YouTube, Mixer, and Twitch at the same time. Now, granted, you have to have 3 bots, 3 chats, 3 notification systems going at once. But if you could do it, honestly, I would say do it. Because that way you get to figure out what platform you want to be on, what works better, what community you like. And if you're, I would say honestly to every single creative, BlackOni, this is you. Dude, do your art on Mixer. They will love you. Do your art on Twitch. They love you. Do it on YouTube. They will love you. If you're creative, as hard it is right now to get exposure, do it on every platform. You know what I mean? And honestly, if you're just a gamer, do it on every platform. If you haven't signed that affiliate contract or that partner contract, do it on every platform and you will grow. Because this is how I look at it. I'm a personal brand. Everybody in here is a personal brand. Confused, my boy Beard, my boy Oni. And I think Oni knows a lot about being a personal brand because he does you do contract work and stuff like that, commissions. So you know all about building your brand in the public eye. And honestly, guys, if you want to build your brand and you want to get your fillers out there, stream on every platform because it'll expose you. Because if you're on Twitch, the only people that see you are on Twitch. Same for Mixer. Same for YouTube. So multi-stream, upload your content to YouTube. I cannot tell you how valuable YouTube content is. As of right now, the ad apocalypse is going down, but
it is real.
It does not stop people from seeing your content, though. Yes, you can't be monetized. One thing I think a lot of people need to realize: a lot of content creators on YouTube don't just live off ad revenue. They live off sponsorships. They live off, brand deals with brands. That's how they make the money. A very small portion of his ad revenue. It does help, but remember that YouTube is not dead, guys. It's not going anywhere.
No, it definitely isn't. But I just feel like if you're not already in some type of foothold, it's a lot harder to be a YouTube streamer / content creator and make it the same if you were on Mixer especially and somewhat Twitch. Like if you're, and that's the thing on any platform, it doesn't matter whether you're on YouTube, Mixer, or Twitch or Hitbox, you have to be the kind of streamer that you want to watch, but you also have to bring some type of uniqueness. And 9 times out of 10, it's just you being yourself, not trying to be what you think is going to get somebody to hit the follow button. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, like, do your research, know what you want to see happen. And I mean, like, the best example that I can use is when I first was getting ready to start streaming, I actually went on Reddit and started, like, just going into, like, AMAs of, like, streamers talking about them getting streaming. And one of the things I saw was somebody asked, should I, greet every single person that comes into my channel? And the guy responded, he's like, yeah, you could totally do that. He said, he said, if you do that, me being an introvert, the first thing I'm going to do is leave your channel. He said, he's like, everybody is entitled to be their own kind of streamer. You can have bots greet people if you want. But, sometimes people like to lurk. And he said, I'm the kind of lurker where if you call me out for lurking, I leave. I don't respond.
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't call out lurkers, guys.
Don't do that.
Even as a viewer, honestly, sorry, don't go in chats. I know everybody's amazed about this, but I've seen people, why is chat so dead today? Where is everybody at? Hello? It's like, bro, we chilling.
We're chilling.
We're chilling. We're
You ain't
hanging
gotta say
out.
nothing, man.
You don't gotta say anything, man. You don't want to force anybody to talk because that will literally all it takes is 1 second to click. Oh, I'm gone. That's it.
Well, I mean, until my bot program screwed up on my channel, I actually had a alert command where a lurker typed it.
It would
say, no, it was deep bot.
Did you have the thing where it greeted everybody that came in?
No. No, this was an actual, follower made command. Like, this was requested from somebody on my channel privately. They were like, can you make a command where if somebody comes in and says, why is the chat dead? Or why am I the only person talking, that someone can type this command? And so I made a command that was exclamation lurk. And when it did, the bot prompted and said, lurkers are going to lurk, and they just want to stay in the channel quietly and jerk. And it would get like 5 or 6 lurkers always peep up and be like, that's me,
Yep.
I'm just while you're watching. I'm not gonna talk. Leave us alone.
Honestly, I watch
Ain't nothing
streams.
wrong with it.
I watch streams at work. I put in my Bluetooth headphones. I put on a stream, BlackOni, Confused, or Bearded, and I literally just look. A lot of times people don't even know if I'm in their chat because I will come and say hi, but sometimes I don't even say hi because I'm busy at work. Just throw on my headphones and I walk around because it's nice to listen to something in the background, you know. So lurkers are a huge part of the Twitch community, huge part of this mixed community. Does anybody know what this whole Twitch beta thing is? Somebody had a question.
I have no idea.
It's on the right. Let me show you guys what.
I don't like it.
I see it. I see what it is. I was I think I don't know, man, because I haven't been paying attention to the blog on Twitch, but I'll show you guys what everybody's talking about. I don't got any crazy pages up. Good, I won't get banned. But right here on the left, you got this beta little tab. You have an option as a streamer, as a content creator, and I think you might have it as a general viewer to kind of, there's a drop down box. When you click this box right here, guys, there should be, see this right here? Beta site. You can check that. Boom. And you can pretty much, it tells you info, and then pretty much, I think I click that, and it should, and you can give feedback, because right now I'm in the beta, but you can give feedback about, you know, what you thought about the whole layout. I think
it's just the way. I think it's the layout. Yeah.
Yeah, they're rearranging the front page. That's pretty much it. And adding some new dashboards and stuff like that. So it's not crazy. But it's
See,
cool.
I don't ever go on the front page, so I don't care.
Yeah.
Like
You
I mean,
will, though,
I
because
follow.
One day,
Okay.
man. Yeah.
Oh no, like, and that's the whole thing for me too. Is like I follow, like I love the people that I follow to the point where I usually have somebody to watch. I think I'm following like 200 or 300 people, and 9 times out of 10, no matter what time of the day I get on my computer or on my phone, I pop open Twitch and I'm like, oh, you know, such and such is streaming. I'm gonna watch him for a little while I'm studying, and just lurk while I'm, you know, reading up on how to make my paper for my history class.
So I got a comment and another question. You know what'd be really cool if Twitch did and Mixer did? Mixer has one of these actually. They have 3 tabs. A gaming tab where you can search for games. They have a tab where you can search for people that you follow. They have another really cool tab I think Twitch should do. It's called upcoming streamers. These are new people that just signed up that are their low numbers. I think Twitch should have a tab, or even like, you know, they kind of have the front page where they show the most popular streamer or the one they gave front page time to. They should have another front page below it or intertwined in there of upcoming streamers. I think that would be really good, you know, because a lot of people blame visibility on their lack of success. I will say that does have a play into it, but at the same time is your content matters. And if I think it's really cool because I've seen a lot of small streamers, a lot of these guys on the podcast, a lot of my fellow streamers that are amazing content creators, they just don't get in the eye of Twitch, or they don't get the exposure they deserve, and they can't grow. So I think that'd be a good addition for Twitch to honestly push, because I think as a business, if Twitch pushes that whole new streamer, you know, visibility, it will put a fire under a lot of streamers that literally, and I've had this feeling, not a lot, but I've had this feeling, we've all had this feeling, what's the purpose? I've been grinding. What's the purpose? I've been putting, I know people that put in 3-4 years and they're literally not where they want to be. They're like, what's the purpose? And I think if Twitch gave that sense of community, sense of, you know, we support you, and not just giving us the affiliate, not just giving us sub buttons, some emotes, 3 tiers, let people be on the front page. Make a category where upcoming streamers, give them their whole page, you know? I think that'd be perfect. But yeah.
Maybe not even do like a whole page, but have like some like, you know, spotlight thing where like they change who's like they're showcasing every hour or something. And I feel like that could be really easily just like make some type of a very generic like you know, algorithm that looks for like new accounts that are just created like less than say like a month or something. And I don't know. But that would be nice. It would be a way to showcase, you know, not just the big dogs that get that partner streamers that get to be on the front page, but also every once in a while somebody who's a smaller, or even like maybe like a thing where a partner could actually showcase a smaller streamer that they know or that they've personally seen, and they get put onto the front page too.
Well, that would just, all you really gotta do is host them, right? That's
true.
Yeah, hosting, I'm not gonna lie, hosting only works, in my opinion, about half the time. Like if I go, I never usually look at the host who's hosting who. I always look at who I'm following, and then if I don't see anybody to watch, which usually I always find somebody to watch. I think if I'm being realistic here,
Uh-oh.
I'd probably say less than a
They
handful
froze.
of times I've ever actually gone down to the hosting section to
Yeah, I
watch
haven't.
somebody.
I haven't.
It's usually best when you're in stream and you get
Mhm.
brought somewhere else while it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you need to be there because if I pop into a stream and they're host someone, typically, I know it sounds bad. I'm just like, all right, on to somebody else I want to watch. You know, it's natural reaction. But
Right.
yeah, so I want to throw on. We got a little more time. I know you guys are strapped. Is everybody EST
Mhm.
here? EST.
I'm EST, yeah.
EST. BlackOni. EST.
Yeah.
CST.
Okay. All right, cool. All right, you guys are it's
Central.
getting late. So one more question, and this was projected to me, but I'm gonna open this up to everybody. They asked, so Glitch, not saying that you're blah blah blah, but if you, not saying you're streaming, but if you, pretty much is asking, does streaming on Mixer mess up your audience or your community on Twitch? Does it put you in a bad light? Does it ruin your community? Or are there any cons?
I haven't seen anything like that when I've done it. The only thing we've talked about this a little bit before the stream started.
Mhm.
The only thing I see as an issue at any given point is sometimes you may miss a comment or two because you're looking at one chat or another
Mhm.
if you don't have them condensed into one. But I mean, at least for my community, whenever I've used any other platform, they're like, "Oh, cool, you're on here too." It's not like, "Fuck you."
Yeah, I'm out. Mixer
Yeah.
scum. I'm on damn.
I mean, there is a very small percentage of people
Oh,
that
there are.
that I know that it's like hardcore Twitch fans that are like, well, if you go to YouTube, because YouTube Gaming, I'm not gonna fucking watch you anymore. I'm like, well, you know, you do what you want to do, buddy.
You do
You
your
know,
boo boo.
Yeah,
You do
that's
you.
the,
Yeah,
those
you
are the
know.
type of people you don't want watching anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say personally myself, obviously there are going to be some people that don't want to follow me over to Mixer or, you know, won't want to follow anybody else that leaves the platform. Even with co-streaming, it's very difficult. It's inevitable, you know, people will leave, but that's something you choose to do, you know what I mean? And the people that want to support you as a community, they will, regardless of what platform you're on, you know. It's inevitable.
And I mean, to be honest, that's the kind of follower that I want. I want a person
Right.
that's here, like I want them to be. I love the story where it's like I came to see what kind of game it was,
Mhm.
but I liked the person that you are, and I love the stream because of that.
Mhm.
Like I've slowly built up a base where, and this is before I stopped streaming in the beginning, middle of August, where no matter what game I was playing, I would have at minimum 25 to 30 people watching me. Like now, granted, when I was in like the GTA 5 role play with the serious crazy Becky shit, I was between like 50 and 60,
Mhm.
slowly climbing. But there was a point where I got to the whole, I'm done with role play for a little bit. So I started playing like Diablo 3.
Yeah.
And then went into like Fallout 4 for a while, and I'd still have about 20, 30 people watching me consistently.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because I've been streaming for 4 years, built up a small fan base of people that no matter what I was streaming, they were there.
Mhm.
So I feel you get a little bit of flack going from, say, Twitch to Mixer or even Twitch to YouTube Gaming, but it'd only be from a small percentage of your community.
Yeah.
And I mean, and then realistically, you know, even though we all say, I think everybody here has over like 2K followers or something like that, or over 1,000, that doesn't mean that 1,000 people watch you. That
Yeah.
just means that 1,000
Right.
people follow
Hit that
you.
follow button. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so if you do go over to Mixer or you do go to YouTube Gaming, that doesn't mean that all 1,000 people are going to migrate to that. No.
Yeah,
You
never
might get like
expect
a
that.
small 5%
never
of people
expect
come
that.
over.
Never expect that. But that being said, I know it's late. We're gonna wrap this up. I currently, and then we're gonna have these guys shout out their platforms, whatever platforms on, where you can find them, what their names and social media. But I want to shout out real quick, guys. I will not be on Mixer throughout the week, but I will be on the weekends. My only time I'll ever be on Twitch from this day forth is for the podcast. So if you enjoy watching me on Twitch every Sunday at 3 p.m. PST, I will have the podcast. So I will not be leaving Twitch. I'll still have the podcast every Sunday, like a TV show. If you want to catch me out with gaming, I'll be on Mixer. All right, easy. But BlackOni, shout out what platforms you got, where they can find you, and what what you got cooking.
I am at BlackOni on every platform except for YouTube. So YouTube is Will Wiggins, Twitch BlackOni, Mixer BlackOni, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, you name it. I'm on there as BlackOni, so you can find me on those platforms. I do upload content to YouTube. I have Mixer So I will be doing some live streaming on there more as the days go on that are off of my schedule than Twitch.
Mm-hmm. All right, and then Confused.
I am at Confused Devil on everything except for Twitter, which is Confused Devil 1 because some little kid has Confused Devil, I think. What
Mhm.
is with these people? My names.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Yeah.
I dropped, and then Bearded Noob.
And I'm the Bearded Noob on Twitch, YouTube, and the Twitter. Only on Mixer am I actually just Bearded Noob because everywhere else, some jackass who never uses their account is Bearded Noob.
You're
Like,
so
I kid
quiet
not.
about that.
I'm
It's the
telling you,
same
the
kid,
same.
bro.
I think it's the same jackass for all the other
right.
people. Like, I messaged the guy that has Bearded Noob on Twitch, and he's like, "Yeah, I don't stream. Yeah, I don't watch anybody on Twitch." I'm like, "Well, can I have the account?" No, fuck you. I don't want to give it to you. And
I ain't
I was
giving
like,
you
screw
nothing.
you.
Yeah, he's
Road
pretty much
trip.
holding your username ransom. But yeah,
Road trip.
Yeah, pretty
but
much.
honestly, guys, it's been a pleasure being this podcast. Oni, Bearded, Confused. If you guys ever want to come back, if you ever want to have more conversations, more topics on talk, you guys are always welcome to hit me up and come back. I love these guys. I would wholeheartedly appreciate if you guys follow every single one of them. They are amazing. The only people we have on the podcast are people that I adore and that I would not mind my community watching, which are these guys. All right, guys.
Oh,
So thank you guys for
adore me,
watching.
G? Oh.
And Bearded. Thank you guys for watching. We'll be back here for episode 6. Got a little surprise for you guys. Episode 6 next Sunday at 3 p.m. PST. All right, see you guys. Much love. Peace.
Peace.
That was awesome.
It was fun.
I